The 2026 season for the Conejo Oaks is getting underway. Game 1 for the Oaks takes place at Ventura College right here on Saturday, June 6th, taking on the 2-0 Orange County Riptide alongside Sammy Fawn. My name is Calvin Kaplan. Welcome on in to the broadcast booth. And Sammy, of course, as we know, this Oaks squad coming off back-to-back CCL state titles. What are the expectations for them entering this season?
The expectations for the Conejo Oaks are off the charts. They have a target and a half on their back. As you mentioned, the Oaks back-to-back CCL champions. But the Conejo Oaks at a different venue this summer at Ventura College. Historically, they have played at California Lutheran University, my alma mater. And this is my second season with the Oaks, but the expectations are very high, Calvin. And the Oaks, they had a great season opener, a non-league game against the Coastal Dodgers. This past Thursday was a 15-0 shutout win. And we know that the Oaks are very capable of exceeding the bar, and the expectations are high, and we're excited to see what they can do.
The expectations have been set over the last couple of seasons. The Oaks will look to make it a three-peat this year, but it starts with Game 1 in the CCL. They'll take on the Riptide. The Riptide's lineup for today begins with the center fielder Alex Dolan. Second baseman Travis Curry hits second, followed by the catcher Cooper Klauser. Third baseman Connor Barth at cleanup. The right fielder Zach Woodson is fifth, followed by the designated hitter Sean Romero. Landry Stamps, the first baseman, hits seventh. Slater Nunez, the shortstop returning from injury, hits eighth. Reed Montgomery, the left fielder, is ninth. And on the mound for the Oaks today, Sammy, is Will Kaczynski.
Yes, Will Kaczynski, brother of Nate Kaczynski, and Kaczynski making his first start of this summer, attending Ventura College. He was previously at Westmont College in 2025. He did not play in that season. It's his first summer with the Conejo Oaks. We're excited to see what he can accomplish.
Absolutely. One of many players on this squad from Ventura College. Head coach David Solis just wrapped up his third season coaching there. He's been with the Oaks for many seasons as well. 3 state titles under his belt, including 2 of them in the past 2 seasons. As we get underway, Dolan gets ready to step up to the left-handed batter's box. We're moments away from action here at Pirate Park. High 60s and sunny today. 68 degrees is the weather. The Riptide in the all-gray uniforms with blue lettering. The Oaks in their navy blue tops and white pants. Kaczynski looks in. He winds and fires. First pitch of the season popped up left and foul out of play.
Alex Dolan attending University of the Pacific. Played his freshman year at Pasadena City College.
Now batting number 2.
Was at
Travis Curry.
Glendale Community College his sophomore year in 2025.
Foul pop-up was caught, for out number 1 from Bodie Grieve. Now Kaczynski looks in at the number 2 hitter, Travis Curry, the second baseman. Curry, the righty, steps in and looks on. First pitch on the way, fastball just misses upstairs above the belt. 1-0 count here on Curry.
Curry played his last 2 seasons at Cypress College for the Chargers. Up-and-coming year attending CSUN.
Kaczynski from the stretch, next delivery. Just outside. Reese tried to frame it, the catcher. Couldn't quite do so. Count is 2-0.
Travis Curry was a 2-year varsity letterman at Huntington Beach High School. He was also Defensive Player of the Year.
One of many hitters looking to add some pop today. He takes strike 1 at the knees. Kaczynski attacking that outside edge. Gets a strike call there with 1 away. 2-1 count. Kaczynski looks in. Winds and delivers. Off speed. Cold strike. Backdoor slider made its way over the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Curry. Kaczynski with a long look in this time. Curry cocks the bat. Kaczynski gets set. The wind in the 2-2. Low and away. So far, a lot of those pitches near that outside corner again there, Sammy.
Yeah, and 1 or 2 that just missed the marker, but strike zone. It's interesting to think with the strike zone, you've got ABS in the majors, but it's yet to reach college.
3-2 ripped up the middle. Diving play unable to be made by Lopez at second. Travis Curry has himself a single, the first hit the Oaks allow this season. Now the Riptide have a runner on first.
Well, semi-frozen rope there from Travis Curry. Scorched that one pretty well. It was a great effort by Lopez at second, but Riptide have their first hit of the day.
Now Cooper Klauser comes up. He's headed to Michigan next season, played 2026 at Arizona State, had 2 hits and 5 at-bats for them. As he takes strike one on the outside edge. Kaczynski loses his hat, but he's been firing in some heat early and attacks the outside corner on the lefty this time.
Yeah, showing us what he's made of and perhaps giving us a sign of the power of the velocity and just this type of stuff that he has.
0-1 the delivery. Called strike on the inside corner. Klauser not too pleased with it. Now he's behind in the count, 0-2.
Well, for Kaczynski to get ahead in the count, I think that'll be key for all the Oaks pitchers to stay on top of these hitters, something they did well last season.
Trying to work efficiently, the 0-2. Swung on, popped up, foul left side. Tracked down by Whitco. He slides under it, but can't make the play. And it looks like the ball may have barely just dropped fair. So that ends up being a hit for Klauser. He reaches first, 2 runners on with 1 out. The Riptide threatening in the top of the inning.
Well, the Riptide certainly catch a break right there. And, you know, the third baseman, Whitco, looked like he had a little trouble. May have been fighting the sun there. But Riptide, they certainly have a chance to capitalize that. They've got 2 runners on base.
Connor Barth will try to drive at least one of them in against Kaczynski, who's fallen into a little bit of trouble after that pop-up. First pitch swung on and miss. Dropped low in the zone for strike 1. Barth, a junior from USC Upstate. Played the previous 2 seasons at Folsom Lake College. Now steps in the 0-1. He takes high and in. Came close to hitting him there, but it did not. Count is now even.
Well, the Riptide in excellent position to set the tone for the ball game here. 2 runners on and their cleanup hitter up.
Curry on second, Klauser on first. The pitch breaks in the dirt. Reese makes the stop, and Kaczynski goes behind in the count, 2-1. Zach Woodson, the right fielder, stands on deck for the Riptide. Here in the top of the first. Kaczynski's next pitch. Upstairs, Reese goes out of his crouch to get it. 3-1, and there it is, Sammy. He's fallen behind in the count just a little bit, trying to get back into it here.
Yeah, hitters count. Kaczynski certainly pretty deep into the woods, and Riptide in a comfortable position. A hitter's count and 2 runners on, a perfect chance to score.
Called strike there on the outside edge from Kaczynski. Fires in heat on 3-1 and makes the count full.
Leveling the playing field a little bit.
Gets the sign and sets. Right-hander in the stretch against the right-handed batter Barth. 3-2. Swung on, missed on the inside edge. Bart goes down. The first strikeout of the season for Will Kaczynski comes in style.
And it's a huge one.
Now batting number 20.
So many things at stake there, and that at bat alone with 2 runners on. 3-2 pitch. If that pitch is either made contact by Barth or it's out of the zone, so much trouble can be sparked, but that's a big second out for the Oaks.
Now the lefty Zach Woodson steps in, playing right field today. 2 outs, 2 runners on for the Riptide. Kaczynski delivers just low for ball 1, once again in the dirt.
A little more pressure here for the Riptide now. Big difference with it being 2 outs. You can't afford a simple grounder necessarily.
Kaczynski's pitch swung on and missed upstairs that time, so been working different areas of the zone, went above the zone that time and got a whiff. 1-1.
I think if Kaczynski can get enough of those with the right counts, if he can stay consistent with that, Riptide hitters are going to have their work cut out.
1-1 pitch. Runner goes. It's chopped foul right side. Could have been a stolen base opportunity. Instead, it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. The wind blowing out to right field as it often does at Pirate Park. 315 is the distance to the right field foul pole, so presumably that's where most of the power hits and home runs could go. Shortest corner of the park. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kaczynski looks in on Woodson, trying to get out of the inning. The wind and the pitch. Popped up high. Going foul. Reese looks to run under it. Does not have a play. It goes over the fence.
Woodson putting up a good AB here against Kaczynski.
Just trying to drive out that pitch count. Played 20-26 at Pepperdine. Hit 128 there. 25 games played, 12 starts. He's got that experience at the Division I level.
Played for the Bend Elks of the West Coast League last summer.
He's got that experience in summer baseball. Next pitch high. Goes up to 2-2. Kaczynski's lost his hat a few times while throwing this inning. Gets it back straight away. Runners on first and second, no score. Like you mentioned, Sammy, a big opportunity for the Riptide to pounce. 2-2 with 2 outs. Kaczynski looks back at second, winds and throws. Swing and a miss! Up at the numbers. Will Kaczynski gets his second strikeout of the first inning to retire the side. A couple hits, couple runners stranded for the Riptide. We go to the bottom of the first. No score. Your Conejo Oaks are coming up to bat. Up next. The California Collegiate League's biggest event of the summer is coming to Reno, Nevada on Saturday, July 4th. The 2026 CCL All-Star Game will bring together the league's top players and future professional prospects at Greater Nevada Field, home of the Reno Aces. Following the game, fans will enjoy a spectacular fireworks show as part of the America 250 celebration. To purchase tickets and learn more, visit calsummerball.com. Bottom of the first, the Conejo Oaks come up to the plate. It's this game between the Oaks and the Riptide, all square at 0. Calvin Kaplan alongside Sammy Fawn here with you on YouTube. And Sammy, looking at this Oaks lineup, Brandon Contreras, the right fielder, going to step up first against the starting pitcher for the Riptide, Sammy Kova, who also played for this squad back in 2024.
Brandon Contreras.
Oaks have a very competitive lineup, and we'll talk more about this. We did see home run ball from Antwine on Thursday, but very competitive lineup. And among the Oaks lineup, Stillwell and Mora, returners for the Oaks.
Got a couple of experienced faces to lead the charge. Contreras, the right fielder, steps up first. The second baseman, Nate Lopez, stands on deck. And Sammy Kova, who spent last season at Utah, trying to get something done in his first at-bat of the season. First pitch just misses on the inside edge for a ball. Contreras played in the exhibition against the Coastal Dodgers on Thursday that the Oaks won 15-0. Had a walk, a single, and a double. 6 at-bats in all. Next pitch, off speed, breaks away from the plate, a slider, 2 balls and no strikes.
Contreras, another experienced summer ball player, played last summer for the Rochester Honkers of the North Woods League.
Trying to bring that savvy to the batter's box here. 2 balls, no strikes. The next delivery. Popped up foul over the screen on the left side. Fans have started to fill in these bleachers here at Pirate Park at Ventura College. We mentioned it at the top, Sammy, but a new venue, of course, for the Oaks after playing at Cal Lutheran University last season.
Definitely a different venue and different type of venue, which makes sense at a community college level in general.
Kova's 2-1 finds the strike zone.
One of the bigger differences, I'd say, here at Ventura College is the type of screen. You've got, the fence screen here, whereas, you had the net screen at Cal Lutheran University.
Something for these players to get used to. 2-2, another slider just off the edge. Kova's gone to that pitch a couple times this at-bat, mixing it in with the fastball. Now the count's full.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a little more off-speed with Kova than we saw of heater with Kaczynski.
Now the payoff pitch to Contreras. Swung on, chopped up the middle to second base. Curry tries to scoop it, but it deflects off of him into center field. Brandon Contreras makes a banana turn and heads back to first base. He starts off with a leadoff hit.
Well, a good piece of hitting by Brandon Contreras and a good effort at second by Travis Curry. That's definitely a hit all the way. Did what he could to slide over to that ball. It just tipped off, looked like the heel of his glove. And the Oaks have their first hidden base runner of the game.
Both teams have a hit. The Klauser reached base from the top of the first was ruled an error, so 1 hit apiece for the Riptide and the Oaks as Lopez takes a ball. Tyler Antwine, the center fielder, stands on deck, and you mentioned it, Sammy. He had a home run on Thursday. Brings a lot of power to this lineup. Kova looks over at first. Now goes. High and away. Good snag by Klauser, the catcher. 2 balls and no strikes.
Pitch out there from Kova.
Now Contreras takes his lead off first. Relatively small lead this time. Kova stares at him once again. Long wait in the pitch. Swing and a miss. Lopez whiffs at it. 2-1.
Nate Lopez attending San Diego State University. His first summer with the Oaks.
Batted 125 there. 14 games played, 10 starts. Next pitch. Popped right center field. This one has a chance, and it gets down. It gets past the right fielder, scooped up by Dolan. Contreras digs for third. Lopez stops at first. And back-to-back hits for the Conejo Oaks have runners on the corners with nobody out.
2 batters in, and the Conejo Oaks have a golden scoring opportunity and a beautiful piece of hitting by Nate Lopez. He split that one right in the gap. I thought that was going to be a double off the bat if it wasn't going to be caught on a dive in the outfield, but runners at the corners, the Oaks certainly in a very promising position to strike first against the very talented Orange County Riptide.
Tyler Antwine will try to be the one to do it. Plays at San Joaquin Delta. Takes the first pitch in the dirt. Of course, alongside his home run on Thursday, also had an RBI single and a walk in 6 plate appearances, 5 at-bats. Lopez off first, Contreras off third. Antwine stands in the right-handed batter's box. Kova looks at first, throws over. Now gets it back. Not going to be a sizable lead at first with the lefty staring right at him. Lopez, though, does take a little more space than Contreras did. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, ripped up the middle. 1 hop to the shortstop. Nunez flips to second. Throw to first is too late, and the first run comes across. Brandon Contreras scores on the fielder's choice, and the Oaks lead 1-0 in the bottom of the first.
Very, very productive out for the Oaks, and Tyler Antwine, a guy, as we've talked about, with a lot of power. Not necessarily the way you expected him to come through, but he did nonetheless. Doesn't matter how you get the job done as long as it gets done. He just sort of floated that one short of the shortstop, and the Oaks strike first.
Now Tyson Reese tries to add to the damage. Runner on first. 1 out in the inning, and the Oaks have the early lead. First pitch breaks away, gets away from the catcher Klauser. And Antoine seizes the opportunity to get to second. Now he's in scoring position.
Heads up base running there by Tyler Antoine. He read that one right away. He's had the speed to beat that throw out. And now that takes away the conventional force play, double play opportunity for the Riptide.
So good chance for Reese with a well-hit single. He could drive in another run. Wind is blowing out toward right center. Kova fires, pitches chopped foul toward the right side dugout. Reese gets ready. He had perhaps the best day at the plate of any Conejo Oaks player on Thursday. Had an RBI double, an RBI single, a walk, and another single in his 4 at-bats against the Coastal Dodgers in the 15-0 exhibition win. 2-1 from Kova to Reese. The wind and the pitch. Chop first base side. Stamps plays it easily and steps on the bag, but the runner Antoine advances to third, 90 feet away from home with 2 down in the inning.
A productive out for the Conejo Oaks. Now they do have 2 outs, and of course that does take away the opportunity for a sac fly or an RBI ground out, but you know, the Oaks taking a step further to get some insurance.
Caden Stillwell, number 5 hitter, takes strike 1 on the outside edge. Solid frame job there from Klauser.
As it's been a little while since I have seen a non-Major League Baseball game, it's been a while since I've seen a framing job, because that doesn't necessarily even exist in Major League Baseball anymore with ABS.
Next pitch misses low, but it's absolutely right. Of course, not a chance to challenge anything out here either, Sammy.
That's true. There's pros and cons.
1-1 count with 2 outs. Stillwell looks on. Kova delivers. Swing and a miss. He was out in front of that one and chased on the off-speed 1-2.
Stillwell, as I mentioned, a returner for the Oaks, played last summer in 2025.
Antoine on third, Stillwell in the box. Kova delivers. High and away. Count evens up at 2-2 with 2 away in the bottom of the first. Still clear skies out here today. And projects to be some really good weather, Sammy, for the next several days of home baseball for the Oaks. Of course, they take on MLB Academy tomorrow at 1 o'clock Pacific. 2-2 pitch. Taken upstairs for a ball from Stillwell.
Well, the Oaks showing the promise of being able to get to Sammy Kova early, and it'll be up to Kova to respond and recover from his early game hurdles.
The 3-2 payoff. Popped up high right side. Stamps settles under it. Tries to make the snag and makes the routine play to end the first inning. The Oaks plate a run. Brandon Contreras was the one to score. And overall, after 1 inning, a productive start for the defending CCL champions. They lead 1-0 heading into the top of the second. Top of the second here at Pirate Park, the Oaks lead 1-0 over the Orange County Riptide. And Sean Romero, the designated hitter, is the one stepping in, the 6th hitter in the lineup for Orange County, who had a single last inning from Travis Curry. Cooper Klauser reached base on an error. But Will Kaczynski got 2 strikeouts to end it, really showing his prowess. Righty-righty matchup for the first of the inning. Kaczynski's pitch misses below the knees for a ball.
Sean Romero played club baseball for the SoCal Birds for 4 years. Batted .587, hit 3 homers in the PG World Series.
Takes the next pitch outside, and not only that, I mean, at Pepperdine hit almost 300 this season. Definitely one of the more productive and efficient hitters in this Riptide lineup, one they're really going to look to lean on throughout the season. 2-0 count, the pitch. Low and away. So again, Kaczynski falls behind, and the pitch count will be something to monitor. Not necessarily expected that he'll go that deep in the game, of course, but trying to work efficiently nonetheless. 3-0. Misses low, a 4-pitch walk. First free pass of the day from Will Kaczynski. Puts Sean Romero on first.
Did it in 4-pitch style. The first time we've seen a 3-0 count from Kaczynski. We'll see how he responds.
Landry Stamps, the first baseman, is stepping up. Played 2 seasons at Tyler Junior College. Now he's headed to South Carolina. Romero takes his lead off first. Kaczynski looks in on the lefty, winds and delivers. Swung on and popped up. In the middle of the infield, Mora settles under it, makes the play just to the right of the second base bag, to his left of the bag, and 1 down in the inning.
Zach Mora, a typical shortstop last year for the Oaks as well.
Coming back, bringing that experience. The Oaks have several players from that 2025 roster coming back. Also a couple from 2023. Brady Francisco and Dylan Jackson, neither in the lineup today, but they played several years ago for the Oaks. As first pitch framed well by Reese for strike 1 on the outside.
Excellent framing job by Reese. And if you've watched a lot of Major League Baseball recently, it's kind of hard to get used to that again where you expect a framing job to go the catcher's way.
Absolutely, but he got it there. Back pick attempt gets him in a pickle over at first. Romero being chased down, and he finally gets tagged out. Wise decision by Reese, who's having a really good day behind the plate in all aspects, Sammy.
Yeah, and that was a sweet play there, and Reese, he just immediately saw Romero get a little too far off the base, and once he threw over to first, Romero was already about a third at least down the line, and he was pretty much a dead duck at that point.
So that certainly helps matters. 2 outs in the inning. Slater Nunez lines one right side foul over the fence. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Suddenly Will Kaczynski's in a position where he can try to get out of the inning. Reed Montgomery, the number 9 hitter, and the left fielder stands on deck. Nunez gets ready to face Kaczynski, the 1-2. Swung on and missed. 3 strikeouts today for Will Kaczynski, and he gets 1 to end the inning for the 2nd time in a row. We go to the bottom of the 2nd in just a moment. The Oaks are still hanging on to their 1-0 lead. Bottom of the second, the Oaks have a 1-0 lead early on, and Orange County Riptide have gone to a new pitcher after one inning. Brandon Weiland from Utah Tech stepping up to the mound.
Now pitching for the
Yeah, you
Riptide,
look at-
99, Brandon Weiland.
Look at his numbers. Pitches at Utah Tech.
Brody.
He's 1-0. Pitched in 11 games this past season for Utah Tech. Started in one of those. Gave up 24 hits. Struck out 9 batters. He gets his first look today.
Getting ready to go here against Bodie Grieve, who gets his first at-bat of the season. Grieve takes ball 1, and this is what we saw the Riptide do in their 2 victories so far this season. Home victories over the San Diego Bombers. They went to a new pitcher practically every inning, and wouldn't be surprised to see them do the same here. 1-0 count, the pitch to Grieve. He takes it inside for another ball.
And that is pretty normal with summer ball because especially when you have pitchers who maybe were the #1 starting pitcher on their respective teams, certain pitchers can only pitch X amount of innings or X amount of games. Various rules like that for summer ball.
Grieve foul tips it into the screen, 2-1. Played 2 seasons at Lafayette. Relatively productive in both of those. Hit .250 in 2025, .212 in 2026.
He's also played at Baylor and New Mexico State.
A lot of experience across different Division I programs. He readies for the 2-1. Weiland's pitch misses. Hard throwing fastball there, just on the inside edge and a little high. So behind in the count early. Bodie Grieve readies for the 3-1. Weiland with a long look, winds and deals. Grieve checks his swing and takes ball 4 upstairs. So an opening walk from Weiland, and Grieve takes his free base.
Now batting,
First
9,
walk we've
Matthew
seen issued from the
Whitcomb.
Orange County Riptide today. To start off the bottom of the second.
Weiland will look to get his control back here against Matthew Whitco, the third baseman. Played in the exhibition, had a walk, a single, and a flyout. Plays at Harvard during the season, had .234 batting average this past year. First pitch he takes just above the belt for a ball. Time is called, and a meeting at the mound between Weiland and Klauser as after his opening walk, now falling behind in the count 1-0, trying to regain his command here.
Hasn't been costly by any means, but Whitco responsible for the lone error of the day. He's got a chance to strike it to continue the spark against the Riptide.
Quick throw over to first, forces Grieve to dive back to the bag.
Yeah, pickoffs slightly trickier for right-handed pitchers in the sense that they have to turn around, and if you're a lefty pitcher, you're facing first base.
Weiland's pitch swung on and missed by Whitco. Of course, the switch coming from the lefty Kova now to the righty Weiland changes things up in that regard. Grant Rodriguez, the DH, is on deck. Also got some action in the exhibition game, the Oaks' win over the Coastal Dodgers on Thursday. 1-1 count with nobody out and a runner on first. The pitch swung on, popped up left side in fair territory. Barth has a long run for it. Can't get to it, but the shortstop, Nunez, dove, couldn't make the catch. Throw comes into second. It skips away. So after all of that, we'll see if that's a hit or an error. A long run for Nunez. He isn't able to make the catch, and now 2 runners stand on the bags.
Very tricky play for both sides there because, I mean, you saw the slide there from Nunez, and took a little while from up here at least to see the ball actually hit the ground, so a little tricky for the runners there. It's definitely a mental play, but, you know, once Grieve saw it land, he was able to take off and slide into second safely.
So Whitco does reach base. Grieve stands in scoring position, and with nobody out, Grant Rodriguez steps into the box. First pitch to him, a breaking ball that just sneaks low for the first ball of the at-bat.
Pretty good breaking ball there from Weiland. Certainly not a bad idea for the first pitch.
Showing some movement on it. 1-0 count with nobody out. Last play was ruled an error, so Whitco does Does not get credited for a hit there. Next pitch just above the belt and outside 2-0.
Well, the Oaks with, yet again, another key opportunity to do some damage. They put 2 runners on with back-to-back hits in the first inning to start it off, and they've got 2 runners on here, and neither via a hit.
Rodriguez trying to change that. 2-0 pitch, called, strike at the knees. Weiland works his way back into the count against Rodriguez. One of the standouts at Ventura College, hit .276 over this past season. Getting a chance in the starting lineup on opening day. Wind blowing straight out towards center. It's .462 to that wall. No home runs there, safe to say. Rodriguez, though, rips one to right. This has a chance, and it falls. It's a base hit. Rodriguez is digging for extras. 1 run scores. Whitco comes to a halt at third, and it looks like it's indeed ruled a ground rule double. It might have gotten stuck in something. Rodriguez gets extra bases, and the Oaks lead 2-0.
Another key hit for the Oaks, and at the same time, the Riptide may have caught a little bit of a break there because it seemed like that ball may have gotten stuck. I would say probably hard to see from here, but maybe right in the warning track below the wall. But another big hit for the Oaks, and they've got 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out now.
Zach Moore, the right-hander, steps in. First pitch, called strike at the knees. And we saw on that play, Rodriguez, lefty pulled it to right field. That's exactly where you want to be in this park. You're trying to hit long balls at least. Of course, lots of room, though, to knock one deep into center and force the outfielders to have a long run to it. 0-1. Swung on, popped up right side, foul. In foul territory, it's fading toward the right side fence and lands just short of it. 0-2. As Mora tries to battle back. Played 2026 at Westmont, batted .221 there, and was one of those past Oaks players you mentioned before, Sammy. Played with the team last season.
Yes, and had a very good season for the Oaks as well. He slugged .320, batted .240.
He takes a pitch upstairs. Looks like he didn't go. Umpire at second says no swing on the appeal. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Drove home 13 runs for the Oaks last season. 6 extra base hits. Certainly a significant asset to the Oaks championship season last season.
He takes a pitch low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now has a chance to pad those stats early. A golden chance with 2 runners in scoring position. And, of course, the Oaks already have a run across in each inning. Could really blow this one open early with just 1 more big hit. Nobody out in the inning either. Weiland trying to work out of a jam. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The wind in the pitch. In the dirt. Captured quickly by Klauser, who avoids the runner coming home.
Yeah, it's a good thing for Klauser that he was able to catch it in time, because I've seen a lot of pitches in the dirt that are seemingly harmless defensively, but if it slips your mind for a little too long, it can spell trouble.
Now a full count. Weiland looks in on Mora. The wind in the pitch. Inside edge, called strike 3. Zach Mora was not too pleased with the call. It was a close one for sure, but it results in the first out of the inning.
Yeah, big strikeout for Weiland, and a great location there. That's a tricky one for the batter, for Mora to decide what to do. You see it come inside. He elects to take it, hoping that it'll load the bases, but it just caught the corner.
Now Weiland readies to face Brandon Contreras, who comes up for the second time today, had a single last inning to lead things off, and he whiffs on the first pitch for strike 1.
And this time he's got an opportunity to come through with runners in scoring position. Something that I would imagine many leadoff hitters look forward to, because you start the game with a blank canvas.
Sure, not all that often that's going to happen early in the game. Contreras, though, gets a chance here. Takes low. This has just been a standout offensive showing so far for the Oaks. We saw that on Thursday. Everybody's bats are getting hot. Seems like the momentum has carried over despite the off day on Friday. 1-1 count with 1 out. Weiland high, kicking the pitch. Called strike on the outside edge. So a couple of borderline pitches in that spot been called strikes as of late. It looked like it just caught the outside corner. 1-2.
Yeah, obviously a little different without ABS that Major League Baseball now has. Not to say that these calls are wrong.
We'll never be able to know for sure. 1-2 is fouled off right side.
Beautiful view out there in right center field, really across all the outfield, but particularly in right center, you can see those mountain houses.
Absolutely. Good aiming point for some of these hitters, trying to get some power on it. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. Runners on second and third. The pitch just high and away. 2-2 on Contreras. He's a regular player at Ventura, 287 this past season. Used to this ballpark for sure. Weiland rocks and deals. 2-2 is low, so now the count fills up once again, and we saw that perfectly placed inside pitch on Zach Mora ring him up a moment ago on a full count. Weiland will try to do the same here.
It'll be interesting to see if he can pull it off again. And yeah, you mentioned that this is a unique advantage on the Conejo Oaks. So many players that play for Ventura College, they know this field perhaps better than anyone.
3-2 on the way. Swung on, ripped up the middle. Base hit. 1 run scores. Another one coming in. Rodriguez digs for home, and he gets there standing up. It's a 2-run single for Brandon Contreras, and the Oaks lead 4-0 in the bottom of the second.
The Oaks have blown it open here. A 3-run second inning. Already a 4-run lead, and Brandon Contreras 2 for 2, and that one was a nice stroke up the middle. Wasn't necessarily hit all that hard, but right through that hole, and you saw his last hit deflect off the second baseman Curry's glove, and that one went through all the way to the outfield.
First pitch misses to Nate Lopez, and just a quality piece of hitting from Contreras. It's up to a 2 for 2 day, making his mark at the top of the order. You can see why David Solis has him there. 1-0 count with 1 out. Lopez also had a single his first time up. Weiland's pitch. It's a called strike at the knees, right down the middle. And control has been a factor making these at-bats longer for these Oaks players. Weiland going to try to tighten that up here.
Yeah, the Oaks doing a really good job of working deep into the count and really making the Riptide pitchers earn their money.
1-1 count with 1 out. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Heater on the inside edge. Weiland fools Lopez.
And as far as Contreras in the leadoff spot, I mean, yeah, that's the job of a leadoff hitter, to get on base all the time, to mess with the pitcher's rhythm, to strike some fear into the defense.
We'll try to do so on the base paths here as the 1-2 blocked in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes as Klauser fires it back to his pitcher. Just a situation where Weiland cannot afford to give up the advantage in the count that he had. Brings his glove to his chest. And rocks and fires. Off speed, just misses. Klauser tried to pull it back into the zone. It was a little bit low. 3-2.
What a take there from Lopez. That's one that, for all you know, if you've got a bird's eye view, that could have been called.
Good eye gives him a full count. Weiland to Lopez on 3-2. Swung on, popped straight up to the pitcher. Weiland's calling for it himself. Now he gets called off by his first baseman. Catch made by Stamps for the second out of the inning.
You saw Brandon Contreras take off. He was going on the pitch, and that's a tricky position for him as a base runner because, if that wasn't Stamps to catch the ball, if that was, say, Weiland's ball, Stamps would ideally be on first, ready for a situation where they could double Contreras off, but Contreras able to get back to first. Almost had a small thought of what if he let it go, let it drop on purpose to sort of fool the runner Contreras, because that's, baseball is such a mental game. It really is more mental than physical, and it's tough to understand that if you don't actually play.
Absolutely. Well, ends up being a routine play. Could have changed a lot of things depending on how those factors went as the first strike comes into Antoine.
And when you think about all those factors all the time, it is just one that makes a difference.
0-1 with 2 outs. Antwine looks to get barrel on ball. The pitch fouled off right side into the screen. 0-2. So Brandon Weiland has allowed 3 runs this inning. He's now tried to settle in just a little bit more. Looks to be finding his groove, and now he's got an 0-2 count at last. The 7th batter of the inning for the Oaks. Antwine against Weiland, who stands on the bump. Contreras on first. Weiland nods and delivers. Swung on, fouled off right side. It jammed Antwine, who hit it right into his own dugout. Still 0-2.
That's another thing, too, that's different about Ventura College compared to Cal Lutheran University. The dugouts are dug about halfway into the ground there.
They had to have some extra screens installed, too, to protect the players. Pitch is low, runner goes. Contreras gets to second. The ball skips into the outfield. Contreras wisely does not try for third, but he does get the stolen base.
Yeah, great jump there from Contreras, and that throw, the timing was there, but the accuracy was not. It skipped into the ground, and that allowed Contreras to reach safely. And if he had been able to get up quicker, it'd be interesting to see if he would have gone to third.
1-2 with 2 outs. The pitch jams Antwine again. He hits it over the fence, but now a runner in scoring position, and it's been all Conejo Oaks so far. Cruising defensively after allowing a couple base runners in the top of the first and scoring runs. Pats are stringing hits together. 1-2 with 2 outs. Weiland against Antwine. Here's the pitch. Just low. So another good take, and suddenly Antwine has worked back from 0-2 to 2-2.
Yeah, the Oaks have really made Weiland work for his outs this inning. Even just to get that last out, Oaks are making it a journey.
Next pitch, inside, count is full. And that's pitch number 32 from Weiland this inning, Sammy.
32 pitches in one inning in summer ball. That's definitely an indicator that a pitcher is not going to be on for long.
Now count is full with 2 outs. Weiland looks in on Antwine, looks back at second, now delivers the pitch. Just inside, it missed by a little bit. It's enough to give Antwine his free pass to first.
Second walk of this inning.
Now batting,
2 outs, but the Oaks again with 2 runners on.
Trying to threaten again. Pardon me, I misspoke earlier. And Weiland's up to 39 pitches. This is number 40 coming up for him.
Yeah, and out to the mound goes Brian Evans, the head coach for the Riptide.
It's been a long inning, and we'll see if the Riptide decide to make a change or leave Weiland out there for the full inning. Looks like there's a pitcher jogging in from the makeshift bullpen and left. Not clear if there's going to be a substitution or not.
Well, Brian Evans, he served as the pitching coach for the Orange County Riptide in 2023 and 24, then was promoted to the realm of head coach. And when not with the Riptide, he serves as the pitching coach for Golden West College. There's certainly a lot of Golden West College representation in this league.
And he's got a lot of players on this roster who are headed to high major schools next season, Big Ten, SEC, ACC, etc. The Oaks have 2 runners on and 2 outs as Weiland stays in the game. Now gets ready to face Tyson Reese. Cleanup man Reese takes ball 1 just below his knees. And when Weiland's missing, a lot of times it's been just low.
Yeah, the bottom just seems to drop out of that, and I think by now the Oaks are definitely catching on to that well.
2 runners on, 2 outs. 1-0 count the pitch. Reese takes just outside. These last couple, I mean, they haven't been badly located necessarily. Even through the last few at-bats, Weiland's missing his spots maybe just by a few inches, but it's enough because the Oaks hitters have had great eyes. 2-0 count. Weiland looks back at second, now fires to home. Again, just low.
Goes back to what I was saying earlier, too, about baseball being so mental because, you know, from a batter's standpoint, you detect a pattern when a pitcher does struggle a lot, and you start to understand why they're struggling and, you know, just where the pitches seem to sail.
Now it's a 3-0 count all of a sudden. Reese takes a strike at the knees, so Weiland able to get one in there that time.
And at the same time, the pitcher understands that too, right? And just understands that, okay, you know, this did not go right in terms of my velo or my command of the strike zone. How can I get that on point?
3-1 coming to Reese with 2 outs and 2 runners on. The Oaks have a 4-0 lead. The pitch pops straight up. This could end the inning. Barth tries to settle under it in foul territory, runs back fair and dives to make the catch. A scary play for a moment, but the Riptide get out of it. The Conejo Oaks, though, score 3 runs in the bottom of the second. They lead 4-0 as we head into the top of the third here in the CCL baseball matchup. Top of the third here at Pirate Park. The Oaks lead 4-0 in their CCL opener here on Saturday. Will Kaczynski retakes the mound to face Reed Montgomery from Long Beach State, who is getting ready to bat here for the Riptide.
Reed Montgomery.
Reed Montgomery, a returner for the Orange County Riptide, played last summer. He played 34 games last summer.
Bringing back some valuable experience. Batted 193 at Long Beach State last season. Takes a pitch just outside. For the Riptide, they're going to try to recapture some offensive momentum that they had in the first 2 games. They beat the Bombers 4-2 in their season opener, but then won 13-0 against them yesterday. CCL affiliate as Montgomery takes high.
I beg your pardon, he played 34 games in his freshman year of college.
Plenty of experience out there on the diamond. Next pitch. Swung on, popped foul over the fence. 2 balls and a strike. Kaczynski has 34 pitches this afternoon in his 3rd inning of work. Has been dealing so far. Just the 1 hit allowed. And a walk. 2-1, swung on and missed. Devastating pitch that fools Montgomery.
A big swing by Montgomery there, and Kaczynski, we have seen that velo serve in his favor for sure.
And he's getting guys to miss. He's got 3 strikeouts so far, looking to make it 4 in this at-bat. 2-2 with nobody out. The delivery. Swing and a miss upstairs. That one just rose and rose, and Montgomery went after it. Walks off disappointed. And Kaczynski has his 4th strikeout of the day.
Great start to the third inning for Krasinski and gets Montgomery to go after the high cheese.
And Alex Dolan comes up for the second time today. Flied out his first time. Stands in the left side batter's box against Kaczynski. First pitch skips in the dirt. Reese makes the stop. That's ball one.
And Dolan, the leadoff man for the Riptide, looks to strike a spark here.
1-0. He shows bunt, takes a strike on the outside corner. Kaczynski loses his hat once again. Count even at 1-1. Look in, wind, and delivery from the stretch. Dolan swings and ropes it to left. It gets down for an easy base hit. Alex Dolan went opposite field and placed it in easily. He's now on first with one away.
Fine piece of hitting by Alex Dolan. That pitch was a great deal inside, and he found a way to stick the bat out and poke it through the opposite field. And Riptide have a one-out base runner. The last thing they want to do today is get blanked, even if it is against a talented baseball team as the Oaks.
First pitch ball to Travis Curry, who has the other hit of the day, so certainly a guy they want to have up in this situation as they try to climb out of a 4-0 hole. 1-0 count with one out. Kaczynski's pitch, swung on, fouled off right side, way out of play. Headed toward the barn that houses a lot of the equipment for the Oaks this season.
Yeah. Another little change for this season. More storage and equipment areas for the team.
Still getting used to the new facility. The 1-1 stopped by Reese, ball two. This team is putting on a good showing in the first game of its quest to go for a three-peat in the CCL. 2-1, runner goes, the pitch swung on and missed. Reese fires to second way too late. Alex Dolan has himself a stolen base. He's making hay at the plate and on the base paths.
Yeah, that's huge if the Riptide are able to get aggressive on the bases and put more pressure on the Oaks, removing the double play scenario for at least for now. They've got a runner in scoring position. Still plenty of run work to go to tie the game.
2-2 to Curry. Swing and a miss. He regretted swinging at that one. Kaczynski gets another strikeout. He's gotten players to chase all day. 5 strikeouts on the afternoon.
Boy, that was filthy. A little more off-speed action there from Krasinski, but second strikeout of the inning, 5th of the day, and another high-pitch strikeout there.
So 2 away now in this inning. The Dolan single sandwiched by a couple of strikeouts. Cooper Klauser takes ball 1 upstairs. The Riptide looking to inject some energy. Klauser reached on an error back in the first inning. The lefty stands in, takes a strike. Kaczynski got some movement on the off-speed there, brought it back in the zone.
Yeah, that error that he reached on, that's what I call a tough error, because it seemed like we saw a bit of a slide from the shortstop, or as well as the third baseman, Whitgo.
Those can be some tough calls to make. 2-1 count now as the next pitch missed low. The Riptide in a chance to threaten, but they have a big hole to climb out of, down 4-0. 2-1 with 2 outs. Kaczynski delivers. Misses outside. Couldn't quite find his spot there as he tried to sneak that pitch onto the outside edge.
Yeah, we haven't really seen Krasinski fall behind a lot today, but this could be a good situation for the Riptide to capitalize on it.
3-1. Swung on and missed. 6 strikeouts today for Will Kaczynski. Or excuse me, it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pardon me. Now the count's full.
The excitement hits. Full count. Not a runners going on the pitch situation as first base is open.
Now here's the 3-2. Runner goes this time. Taken for ball 4. Runner takes third. So Alex Dolan has 2 stolen bases this inning, and Cooper Klauser gets walked.
I stand corrected. Perfect runners going on the pitch. Worked in the favor of the Riptide as it was a walk, and, well, Dolan, yeah, gutsy base running there, but Riptide, there are 2 outs in this inning, but they certainly have a chance to strike a spark here against the Oaks and make their way, at least start to make their way back.
First pitch up high to Barth. 1-0 count, and you said it, now a new opportunity. Stolen base adding to things here. 2 stolen bases this inning for Dolan, who's been running all around the base paths. Barth struck out his first time up. Kaczynski with 5 strikeouts this afternoon. Has a 1-0 count and stares in on the righty. Pitch. Check swing. It's a called strike anyway, 1-1.
Yeah, Barth a chance for some redemption here. There were 2 runners on when he struck out. It was first and second and 1 out in that inning in the first. But he's got a chance to put the Riptide on the board.
Here's the 1-1. Roped into center. This one falls for a base hit, and the Riptide are on the board. A single for Connor Barth drives in 1. Alex Dolan crosses the plate, and the Riptide trail by 3. It's 4-1.
Right on cue. Riptide get a clutch hit from Connor Barth, and as I said, some redemption for the third baseman there, as the Riptide now have the tying run at the plate.
Zach Woodson has a big chance. Looked like Kaczynski was rolling through this inning, but allows a walk, allows a hit. Has 2 runners on now as his fastball misses inside. Sean Romero stands on deck. He walked back in the second, but got caught in a bit of a pickle after Reese threw down to first, caught him off the bag. Next pitch, ripped to center. Long run for Antwine, but he settles under it just before the hill and makes the catch. A lot of power from Woodson. There is a cavern out in center field, and Antwine makes the play. After the top of the third, the Oaks are still ahead, but the Riptide have cut it to 3. It's a 4-1 game here in this CCL Saturday afternoon matchup. The Oaks have a 3-run lead, and a new pitcher's out there for the Riptide. Jackson Pace of Pepperdine takes the mound. He's the 3rd guy to do so for Orange County. And he faces Caden Stillwell up first. He popped up his first time up back in the first inning.
Yeah, Jackson Pace getting his first looks of the 2026 summer, and the Oaks summoning the Riptide's third pitcher of the day in 3 innings. And from what we saw from Krasinski the last inning, you know, he's pitched exceptionally well today, but it would be understandable if that is his last inning. We'll see what happens, though. Riptide are on the board, though.
Pace looking to stop the bleeding, pitch a scoreless third. 6.35 ERA this past year at Pepperdine. He fires one low and away for a ball against Stillwell. Pace had 16 appearances this past season, 17 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts, 8 walks. Going from the stretch with that left foot stuck out far to the side. Stillwell fouls it into the backstop.
Stillwell popped out his first time up.
Now gets his second opportunity. The only Oaks hitter not to bat last inning. The 1-1. Slider goes way far outside. Might have been even a sweeper with all that horizontal action.
Yeah, definitely had some last-minute breaker action on that.
The 2-1 to Stillwell is on the way from Pace. Skips it low. So now Pace comes set once again. The wind and the pitch. Right at the belt. Check swing. The appeal. No swing. And that is ball 4. So Stillwell heads to first base. 5-pitch walk to start off the inning.
Now batting, number 26.
Good take there from Stillwell. Good check swing. A close one there, but a leadoff walk for the Oaks. And see if Pace can recover. This is, you know, early on in the season, and I think as the later seasons go, the more you start to see really the harm that walks can put on you and your defense.
Absolutely. There been a problem for the Riptide this afternoon. Another ball inside to Grieve, who, speaking of which, walked just last inning. He started off the second with a walk. Now Stillwell stands off first. Grieve gears up. Gets ready for the 1-0. Breaking ball in there for a strike, a backdoor slider. That pitch has had a lot of break on it today, Sammy.
Yeah, it really has on both sides, and I think that was one that the Riptide, certainly a start for them if they're gonna keep the Oaks where they are scoring-wise this inning.
1-1, swung on, chopped weakly third base side. It trickles foul.
Yeah, and Grieve did the right thing by running that thing out, because we've seen balls like that appear to be foul, but at the last minute they could, at the last second really, they could curve back fair. So it's always better to run it out, because you never know. There's no harm in running it out. That's for sure.
Yeah, could have had a sneaky chance at an infield single. Steady steps back in for 1-2. The pitch. Slider outside, gets away from the catcher, and Stillwell wasn't really prepared to run, goes back to first.
Well, a good quick thinking there by the catcher Klauser.
It's now 2-2. As Pace will try to pick up the pace, keep the pitch count down. Long look in the pitch. Cold strike 3 at the knees. Bodie Grieve kept the bat on his shoulder, and Jackson Pace delivered a nice fastball for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that was a blazer right there. Good, excellent location. Looked like it was on the lower part of the zone. And a key first out for the Riptide. Now a double play would get them out of this inning.
Big chance against Whitco, who reached on an error his first time up. Pace winds and throws. Check swing. I'll say no swing there. An opening ball against Whitco.
Well, Whitco has been involved in both errors that have happened in this game on a different side of the field for each of them. Riptide with one error and the Oaks have the other.
Pace delivers the 1-0. It misses low again, this time on the inside. Count is 2-0. Grant Rodriguez is on deck, and of course he had a nice piece of hitting. His first time up had a double that he ripped down the line. 2-0 count with 1 out. Runner on first. Pace from the stretch, nods and throws. Swung on, ripped. Whitco tries to get this one down, and it drops in left center. This could be extra bases. Stillwell digs for third. He rounds third and digs for home. Whitco's at second. The throw does not come into the plate. And an RBI double for Matthew Whitco puts the Oaks up 5-1 in the third.
Boy, what a big hit from Whitco, and he just split the gap there right in between Montgomery and Dolan. That was a no man's land right out of the gate. And Stillwell running hard right off the bat. And the Oaks with yet another insurance run.
Just continuing to pad the lead. It got cut to 3 at the top of the inning, now back up to 4. Runner in scoring position and 1 out for Grant Rodriguez, who had the other double today. Pace sets up. Looks back at second. Kicks and throws. Called strike on the outside edge. A fastball there. Seen a nice pitch mix so far from Pace. Got a lot of speed on that fastball. Try to blow by Rodriguez here. He gets his signal from Klauser and comes set. 0-1 to Rodriguez. Swung on, fouled off. Rodriguez hit it off the catcher's mask, it seemed. 0-2.
Almost looked like it might have gotten a piece of the umpire as well.
It's bouncing around back there. Quick conversation at the mound between Pace and Klauser. As once again, the Riptide are in a situation where this inning is stretching on. The Oaks are plating runs and continuing to extend their lead. Count is 0-2 on Rodriguez. Zach Mora, the shortstop, is on deck. Lefty-righty matchup here. The righty Pace fires. Swung on, chopped to second. One hop fielded by Curry. He throws to first and retires Rodriguez, but Rodriguez advances Whitco to third. So 2 down in the inning, but the Oaks have a runner 90 feet from the plate.
Another productive out for the Conejo Oaks.
Number 17, Zach
And
Mora.
Zach Mora with a chance to bring home a key 2-out run for Conejo.
1 run in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third for the Oaks. And they make it 2 right here. It's up to Mora. First pitch. Breaking ball, catches the outside edge for a strike.
Well, Mora went down looking his first time up on a blazing fastball that froze him right on the inside corner.
Pace readies, whips the 0-1. Way outside on a sweeper.
We've seen a few sweepers like that really take the catcher from off the plate.
It's a tough pitch to hit. It's a good one to have in your arsenal. 1-1 count with 2 outs. Whitco, the runner on third. Mora, the man at the plate. Here's the pitch. Swung on, tapped into the plate. It might have gotten off Mora's foot, too. 1-2.
Yeah, it looked like it hit right off the shin area. Just the way it deflected. And those are some batters' pet peeves. It's like, oh, man. It's like you don't even really know how it happens, but it just does.
Gonna try to fight it off. Looks to be okay. 1-2 with 2 outs. Pace to Mora on the 1-2. Swung on, ripped to right. This one drops for a base hit. A bloop single from Mora drives in a run. It's the Oaks 6 and the Riptide 1.
Excellent piece of hitting by Mora to fight that one off and just bloop it into no man's land right to the gap between second base and right field. And he came through there with 2 outs, and those 2-out runs are going to be huge for each team this season, because not only are those difference makers, but if teams can kind of build a habit of maximizing those opportunities with 2 outs, that's some strength right there.
Contreras tries to keep it going, takes a called strike on a fastball. But so far, Sammy, just looking at this game, the Oaks have strung hits together. I think manager David Solis has to be very pleased with how his team has shown up in opening day so far.
Oh, yeah, and I would imagine not one bit surprised. This is a team that has shown talent levels that are just through the roof.
A lot of great recruits this year. Another outside edge pitch called strike. So Jackson Payson back-to-back pitches, finding the outside edge, putting a fastball there, well placed in terms of location.
Yeah, that's something that the Riptide are doing well today. I think they just need to find a way to build more consistency on that. And, of course, you know, they have their offensive work cut out as well.
0-2, swing and a miss. So Jackson Pace finds his stuff. 3 straight fastballs retire Brandon Contreras. And at last, the inning is over. But not before the Oaks plate 2 runs. It's a 6-1 lead for Conejo after 3. Top of the 4th here at Pirate Park. The Oaks lead 6-1, and they have a new pitcher. Will Kaczynski's day is done. Official line: 3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run allowed, 2 walks, and of course 5 strikeouts. And Landon Martin is the new pitcher from Cal State Fullerton. Had a 9.28 ERA this past season in 12 appearances. Now Sean Romero steps in to face him. Martin's first pitch of the CCL season is inside, gets away from Reese for a ball.
Martin, as you mentioned, getting his first looks of the 2026 summer. He graduated from Sonora High School in La Habra, a 4-year varsity player of baseball and football. He was 2-time pitcher of the year.
He allows a big hit there into left center. Sean Romero got a big hack on it. It's scooped up by Antoine in left center. And Sean Romero has a leadoff single. He stands over at first.
Excellent start for the Riptide this inning, and also great hustle from Antoine to get that ball in as quick as he did, because looked like a double right off the bat, but the hustle from the speedy Antoine in center field holds Romero to a single.
Now Landry Stamps steps in for the second time today. He popped out his first time up. Has a runner on and nobody out. Martin's pitch just below the knees for a ball. Got some good heat on the fastball. Now looks in and comes set into the stretch. Here's the wind of the pitch. Low again, similar spot. 2-0 against Stamps. Past season for him at Tyler Junior College, hit .333. Headed to South Carolina, as we mentioned. Romero on first, the 2-0. Ripped down the line, fair ball left side. Gets past the diving first baseman or third baseman Whitco. Back-to-back singles now for the Riptide. Give them runners on first and second.
Well, this is by far the best inning start that the Riptide have had today. Back-to-back singles to start off the fourth inning. And they've got a chance to make this game even more interesting. They are chasing 5 runs, but that's certainly a good start to build a lot of momentum off of.
Nobody out, too. Lots of chances. Slater Nunez, who struck out his first time up, stands in. First pitch just outside on a fastball. One-0 count here. Runners on first and second in the top of the fourth. Great weather day. Clear skies, near 70 degrees. Swing and a miss by Nunez as Martin evens the count.
Fine weather for some summer baseball, and we talked about how windy it does get at this field in general, especially in the booth when the door is open. I mean, Ventura College is closer to the water.
Absolutely. You're always getting those winds coming in. Foul ball over the screen, 1-2.
Yeah, speaking of the water and weather, I did have the pleasure of driving up here from Santa Monica, and the GPS took me along the PCH. That is a gorgeous drive.
Beautiful views out here in this area the whole way. 1-2 with nobody out. Runners on first and second. Martin to Nunez. Looping curveball goes inside. That's the first time we've really seen that today. 2-2. Martin sets once again. Outfield playing relatively deep at the corners. The pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3, the first strikeout of the day for Landon Martin, 6th overall for the Oaks. And that helps matters just a little bit, 1 down with 2 runners on.
Yeah, that's a big strikeout for Landon Martin. And his first of the summer kind of puts a halt in the Riptide's momentum. Let's see if they can continue to chip away here.
The number 9 hitter, Reed Montgomery, is up. He struck out last inning. But Alex Dolan's on deck. We saw him single, steal a couple bases, and score the lone run for this team. Big hit from Montgomery through the right side hole. Bases are loaded. Runner Romero holds up at third. And now it's a really tricky situation for Landon Martin. He's allowed 3 singles and has runners on every base with 1 out for Dolan.
Another big hit for the Riptide, and with less than 2 outs, Romero had to be sure that that ball was not going to be caught, because with 2 outs, that may have been a run right there. But nevertheless, Riptide have put the Oaks in a pretty vulnerable position here. With 1 swing of the bat, Dolan could make this a 1-run game.
Romero on third, Stamps on second, Montgomery on first. Dolan at the plate, he takes strike 1. Martin has been locating that fastball well today. It's just that when these hitters have swung at it and gotten good swings, they're really getting good pieces.
They certainly are. When they are getting those chances, they're fighting them.
Dolan 1 for 2 today. Pitch, called strike, same spot. Good placement on the outside edge, another fastball, 0-2.
Dolan in battle mode now. He can't afford to take 1 more of those. That is if it hits the zone.
It's a 6-1 Oaks lead, but lots of time for the Riptide to climb back. Here's the 0-2. Curveball high. Just got away from Martin a little bit. Missed his spot. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Travis Curry also has a hit today, and he stands on deck near the fence on the left side. The 1-2. Dribbled left side. Base hit. Through the hole past the diving Mora. 1 run comes home. Romero is the one across the plate, and everybody advances 90 feet. The bases remain loaded, and it's a 6-2 Oaks lead.
Station to station there. A key hit for Alex Dolan. He just splits that one through the gap between third and short. And it's another one where you thought, or at least I thought, that maybe Stamps had a chance to score from second, but the left fielder, Grieve, is able to get it in pretty quickly.
Here's Curry. He rips one way foul to the right, but kind of good piece, just a bit late on it. Nothing in one.
And the Oaks in a slightly even more vulnerable position now as a 4-run lead, yes, but with the bases loaded, the Riptide, and Curry could tie it with one swing.
Stamps on third, Montgomery on second, Dolan on first. Pitch is chopped into the plate. Nothing in two.
And that was an oops check swing there from Travis Curry.
He's going to try to bounce back at 0-2. It could be the game-tying run.
That certainly is what Curry represents at the plate right now.
Martin comes set after shaking off the sign from Reese. Here's the 0-2. Swung on, Rip, third base side. Whitco has a play to second for one. Throw to first on the way. Snatched for two. Whitco to Lopez to Stillwell. Complete the double play and get the Oaks out of the inning. Just one run for the Riptide comes across, and the Oaks strand the bases loaded. It's a 6-2 game entering the bottom of the fourth. The California Collegiate League's biggest event of the summer is coming to Reno, Nevada on Saturday, July 4th. The 2026 CCL All-Star Game will bring together the league's top players and future professional players at Greater Nevada Field, home of the Reno Aces. Following the game, fans will enjoy a spectacular fireworks show as part of the America 250 celebration. To purchase tickets and learn more, visit calsummerball.com. Bottom of the fourth for the Oaks. They have a 2-run lead. Nate Lopez steps to the dish for the third time today. And it is Jackson Pace out there once again for his second inning of work. His first pitch. There's a sweeper in there for a strike. That pitch is back to work again, Sammy, and it's terrorized these Oaks hitters today.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest challenge that the Oaks have faced at the plate. And, you know, they've been able to work around it as well. And Pace, the first Riptide pitcher to go more than one inning today.
Shows the confidence that this staff has in him. He delivers a ball there, 1-1. Lopez has a single on his ledger today alongside a pop-out. Pitch. He pops one into center. Dolan has a chance at it, runs in and makes the snatch. One down in the inning.
There's a bird making its flight rounds around the field. If I were that bird, I would watch out there. But good start to the inning for the Riptide with that first out. And Tyler Antwine, the man who smoked a homer, as you've mentioned, over the left center field fence on Thursday, right off the screen, that protective screen that protects cars for the most part, parked down there.
First pitch called strike. It'd be amazing if someone could fly it over that screen. I'm sure there's someone out there who could, but Antwine got a big shot over there nonetheless. 0-1 count. Pace tries to work quickly and delivers. Pop up high into left. Montgomery settles in, takes a few jogging steps forward, and makes the catch. So 2 outs in the inning, a couple of flyouts. Jackson Pace is working cleanly here.
Able to retire the first 2 batters of this inning, and that is the first time we have seen that from the Riptide today. 2 up, 2 down.
It's a big momentum shifter for them. Of course, stranding the bases loaded last inning, not going to help matters for sure, but trying to do what they can here to bounce back. First pitch from Pace to Tyson Reese. It's just above the zone for a ball. Reese, the lefty, is grounded out and popped out today, but had a really good performance against the Coastal Dodgers on Thursday with 3 hits and a walk. The pitch is low. 2 balls and no strikes.
You had a chance to talk to Tyson Reese after the game. What kind of insight did he give you that you think might be reflecting today?
I mean, he's optimistic. It seems like the approach is simple at the plate. It's turning into results, and certainly very excited to join the team this season. He takes a strike. It's a good start for all of the Oaks players on Thursday. Of course, that's the one game this season that's not going to count for anything standings-wise, but to win a game 15-0, it certainly gives you a lot of confidence.
Yeah, a lot of momentum heading into this game against the Riptide, who are already 2-0 on the season.
Sweeper is upstairs 3-1. Yeah, both teams had a lot of momentum. And, I mean, the Riptide just yesterday, 13-0 over the San Diego Bombers. That's a great performance in its own right. They just haven't found the same kind of offense today. 3-1. Pace looks in on Reese. Here's the pitch. Reese rips it to right center. This one could be trouble. Dolan and Woodson both run for it, and Woodson makes the running catch. Nice play for the right fielder to end the inning.
Woodson running like Woodstock out there.
Absolutely. 3 flyouts. That'll do it for the Oaks, the first 1-2-3 inning for the Riptide today. We go to the top of the 5th. Orange County trails by 4 to the Conejo Oaks. They'll try to come back soon.
Yeah, Martin picking up right after Krasinski, who pitched a solid 3 innings. Krasinski had allowed just 1 run, and saw Martin allow 1 run last inning, as the Riptide certainly had a good inning where they chipped away, and they were in a key situation with the bases loaded with 1 out, but fortunately for the Oaks, Curry was able to hit into the twin killing double play that certainly put a major halt to their momentum.
Now the Riptide are coming off a 1-2-3 inning as Cooper Klauser steps in. First pitch on the way from Martin is a fastball outside.
Yeah, the Orange County Riptide coming off of 2 wins against the San Diego Bombers. A 4-2 win and a 13-0 victory.
Martin working quickly. Gets back ready once again. Here's the wind in the 2-0. Swung on, ripped to left, far foul. Martin allowed 4 singles last inning, but of course, like you mentioned, Sammy, the double play was huge to end the inning. But the Riptide have now seen that they can score. Scored a run in back-to-back innings. 2-1 count from Martin to Klauser. Next pitch. Slider catches the zone, 2-2.
Yeah, Klauser, he's been doing a solid job behind the plate as well for the Riptide.
Nobody out. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, a low golf swing, goes into left. Catch made by the shortstop, Mora. So 1 out, an awkward swing for Klauser, and he gets retired.
Now batting, number 7, Connor Barth.
So good start for Martin, staying back out there for his second inning of work. Connor Barth, though, is coming off a single his last time up in the third. He struck out in the first. Barth played 2 seasons at Folsom Lake College. Swings and misses on a fastball for strike 1. Seems like Landon Martin has gotten a good amount of speed on the heater, all things considered.
We've seen some velocity from him, and I think we saw that predominantly from Krasinski early on in this game.
Here's a hard fastball for strike 2. Martin was really amped for that one. No balls and 2 strikes on Barth. The cleanup hitter in the order.
He's got 1 hit on the day.
Here's the 0-2. Into the dirt. So Martin has picked up the pace a little bit on the mound, working relatively quickly compared to some of the other pitchers today. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wind continuing to blow out toward right center, as it almost always will at Pirate Park here at Ventura College. 1-2 with 1 out. High kicking the pitch. Curveball line towards second. Lopez gets it on a hop, makes the easy play, and flips to first. Stillwell makes the catch, 2 down.
Relatively quick 2 up, 2 down for Landon Martin and the Oaks.
Now batting, number 28, Zach Woodson.
It's just been a good job settling in for him, and he was allowing good contact from the Riptide last inning. Has started to avoid that a little more here. Woodson, the lefty, steps in. Martin's first pitch is low. It's been a fastball-heavy inning. We've seen the occasional slider, the occasional curve. But he's going to the heater, which is working well. The location's been pretty good today. 1-0 with 2 outs. Next pitch, high and away. Fastball, not as well located that time.
Yeah, location is definitely something that summer ball serves a very well purpose for these pitchers in this league, to sort of build a consistency with that and just get those agilities on point and to just really keep reinforcing those fundamentals.
That was a well-located pitch right there. Off speed for a strike on the inside corner. 2-1 with 2 down. Martin looking for a clean 1-2-3 inning. Next delivery. Swung on and tipped. Reese lost track of it. Bounced just in front of him, in front of the plate. They get a new ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
We've seen some very good athletic speed from Woodson out there in right field. He's got some action there. And the Riptide, they chase 4 runs.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swung on and missed upstairs. Landon Martin goes back to the fastball and retires Woodson. A 1-2-3 top of the 5th, and the Oaks hold on to their 6-2 lead. Bottom of the fifth, the Oaks have a 6-2 lead over the Riptide, and Dylan Orr is the new pitcher for Orange County. He had a pretty good year at Grand Canyon in 2026, although limited appearances, just 3 of them. He had a 5.06 ERA. 5 1/3 innings pitched during that time. 5 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts allowed. Now he's a senior, lots of experience. Undecided about where he'll be next year.
Spent his last 2 years at Grand Canyon, but redshirted his sophomore season in 2025 due to an injury.
First pitch, swung on and tipped into the fence from Caden Stillwell, who is 0 for 1 with a walk.
And Dylan Orr has a plethora of summer league pitching experience. In 2024, played for the Green Bay Rockers of the Northwoods League in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
He pops one up into right. Woodson has a long run for it. It's instead caught by Curry, the second baseman. 1 down in the inning. An easy pop out there to start the fifth. Bodie Grieve is up next.
Orr also played for the State College Spikes the summer of 2022 of the MLB Draft League. That team in State College, Pennsylvania. Graduated from Shadow Ridge High School. Pitched for all 4 years. He led his team in innings pitched as a freshman and as a senior.
Now Orr delivers the ball 1 to Grieve, who had his wonk in the second, his strikeout in the third. 6-2 Oaks lead in the bottom of the fifth. The offense is slowed from both sides, but Conejo is in a comfortable position, pitches inside.
And in those seasons, his freshman and senior years of high school also earned Team Cy Young honors. As a senior, he was second-team All-State, first-team All-District, and first-team All-Region honors, and he led 6A in strikeouts.
He's a decorated pitcher. He delivers a strike on the off-speed there. 2-1 is the count, as Grieve still looking for his first hit this 2026 summer season. Here's the pitch. Called strike on the off-speed again. 2-2. Grieve maybe not 100% sure that was a strike. It was close. Now 1 down in the inning. Rock kick and delivery from Orr. Grieve pokes it to short. Nunez has the scoop but can't handle it. An error there allows Bodie Grieve to reach first. The Oaks have a runner on.
Second error we've seen from the Riptide defense. And on that one, it was pretty clear that one would be scored one. Yeah, Nunez just sort of muffled that one up at short. It happens.
Second error of the day for the Riptide. Whitco reached on one of the errors, had a double his other time up, and takes a ball. So Dylan Orr now in a little bit of a tougher situation. Still has a chance at a double play to get out of the inning.
That double from Whitco his last time up was certainly a big one.
Looks to continue the momentum. Tips one into the fence. A ball and a strike. Sunny skies in the bottom of the fifth. Wind blowing out toward right center as always. And the hills and houses make for a nice backdrop for this stadium.
Oh, do they ever.
Orr with the long set in the pitch. In the dirt, blocked by Klauser. 2 balls and a strike to the number 7 hitter, Whitco. Orr looks over at first, comes set. 2-1 on the way. Taken inside. Goes with the fastball. Can't quite find the location. Whitco's 1 pitch away from a walk. And Grant Rodriguez, who also had a double today, stands on deck. This is a situation where Rodriguez could continue to make an impact. Had perhaps the hardest hit ball of the day earlier. Orr's 3-1. Runner goes. Pitch is tipped into the screen. So Bodie Grieve will have to go back to first.
Whitco putting up a nice AB here against Dylan Orr. The Oaks, they already have a 4-run lead, but this is a team that does not get satisfied so easily with their leads.
We talked about the good at-bats so far today. Whitco's putting in another one. Here's the 3-2. Tipped again, same result. Whitco is not going down without a fight. Grieve was, of course, running again there.
He's chipping away at the plate. Getting his money's worth here.
This is a quality at-bat. Oaks trying to extend that 4-run lead. Or into the stretch once again. Inside target from his catcher. Here's the 3-2. Off speed, ripped down the line. It is fair. Goes over the bag. Whitco rounds first, heads for second. Grieve goes to third and stops there. And Matthew Whitco, by just a few inches, is able to put together a double.
Boy, what a piece of hitting by Whitco, and that one got a little piece, may have clipped the bag just a tad, and just managed to stay fair and get past the reach of Stamps, the first baseman. And the Oaks, they already have a 4-run lead. As I mentioned, they've got another key scoring opportunity here.
Grant Rodriguez is up. His double came in the second. His ground out came in the third. Whitco stands on second. Grieve is on third. 1 away in the inning, so a sacrifice fly could be in play. Zach Morris stands on deck. Orr comes to the belt. The first pitch of the at-bat. Here it comes. In the dirt, gets right behind Klauser, who locates it quickly.
Yeah, Dylan Orr. If there's ever a time when he and the Riptide need to escape trouble, it is now. They cannot afford to give up more runs here.
Rodriguez trying to add to the damage. The 1-0. Taken inside on a fastball. Orr has tried to paint the corners with that pitch, has had some success doing so. Hasn't always worked out today. Rodriguez with a lot of power in his bat. Stands with it on his shoulder. 2-0 count with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Next pitch. Popped up left side, foul and out of play. So Orr walks behind the mound. Pats his cap. Gets back up onto the hill. 2-1 with 1 away. Runners on second and third. And he's taking his time here. Long look and then comes back to the numbers. Looks at second and delivers. Swing and a miss. Rising and rising. Rodriguez went and chased. 2-2.
Pressure on both Orr and Rodriguez here.
This could end up being one of the more pivotal at-bats today. In a 1-out situation with 2 runners in scoring position, Grant Rodriguez could completely change the dynamics of this game. 2-2 the pitch. Blocked in the dirt. Now the count is full. Now it really gets anxious for Dylan Orr.
Well, here are the Oaks again, working deep into the count to really make the Riptide pitchers work to get out of their innings.
3-2 pitch on the way. Here's the payoff. Swung on, ripped to right. Dolan tries to run for it and settles in, but this is deep enough for a sac fly. Grieve runs in, he scores easily, and the Oaks lead 7-2.
Well, the first time we have seen a sac fly today, and job well done from Grant Rodriguez to get a ball well enough that he could just drive deep enough to get another key insurance run for the Oaks. And, you know, with the lead that you have, if you're the Oaks, if you can be consistent with these little things to get those key scoring opportunities and do that consistently, you're on a great stride for a potential victory.
Here's Zach Mora with 2 outs, takes a slider for a strike. He has a strikeout and a single today. Now the man on second, Matthew Whitco, stayed there, of course, after the sacrifice fly. 0-1 count with 2 outs. Or the righty looks in against the righty Mora. Next pitch. Another slider, didn't quite come back that time. 1-1.
Yeah, that one just dropped a little bit low. That's wicked slider movement is certainly something, as we've mentioned, that the Riptide have been showing well.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a theme today. 1-1 with 2 outs. Orr's next pitch. In the dirt on the fastball. It's another common miss spot that we've seen from some of these pitchers. And once again, just the pitch count has been continuing to rise. Orr is up to 23 this inning. With 24 on the way, comes to the belt. Outside target. The 2-1. Mora takes strike 2 on the off-speed. That was a well-located pitch that just scooted to the outside edge and held firm. So 2 balls and 2 strikes against the number 9 hitter who tries to keep the inning alive for the Oaks. Orr to Mora on the 2-2. Popped up over the fence, over us as well in the press box, and now to play.
I think that's the first foul ball we've seen fly over the booth today.
Certainly won't be the last this season.
No, not at all. It is a high fence, I will say.
Yeah, there's not really an angle for it to come into the booth, looking at it from here, but maybe over it or on top of it at some point. Orr's 2-2 to Mora is on the way. Mora crushes one high in the sky to left. This is playable for Montgomery. He has to take a long run for it. Runs back to his left and makes the grab backhanded. The inning is over. The Oaks plate 1 run, but the Riptide hold it there. 7-2. Conejo leads after 5 in this CCL matchup. Back for the top of the 6th, as the Conejo Oaks have a 7-2 lead over the Orange County Riptide. And the Riptide have a new pitcher in the game. That is Pearson Howe. Or the Oaks, I should say, have a new pitcher in the game. That is Pearson Howe from Pepperdine. Howe's first pitch swung on and missed by Sean Romero for a strike.
Yeah, Pearson Howe coming off of a 2026 season where he went 0-1. He did strike out 10 batters.
Allows a hard hit ball left field, and it's just foul, just barely. It was a close one, and it could have been a double for Romero. So Landon Martin's day is done. He pitched 2 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, no walks, and a couple strikeouts.
solid day overall for the Oaks pitching staff, and the Oaks caught a break right there with where that ball landed.
Absolutely. That one was not far from being easily extra bases, making it a long run for Grieve and left. Pearson Howe, though, looks in, has 0-2. The pitch, swing and a miss on the off speed. Might have been a sinker there for out number 1.
Boy, that was some nasty action from Pearson Howe.
Now
And on
up,
3
number
pitches,
33,
the Oaks
Landry.
have their first out of the 6th.
It's been a strikeout kind of day for this Oaks staff. Got 8 as a team. Landry Stamps steps in. It's 1 for 2 with a single. Takes a pitch at the knees for a ball. It was a little outside. 1-0 count. Howe working quickly. The next pitch. Horn goes off during the pitch, low and away for ball 2. Wonder if that maybe distracted him just a little bit, Sammy.
You'd like to think not if you're the Oaks.
2-0 pitch. Swung on and missed by Stamps. Pearson Howe generating a couple swing and misses. Gets back a little closer, 2-1.
Does remind me of one particular time where, after this pitch,
Swing and a miss for strike 2.
where I was with some people. We were about to take a group photo, and right as the count off went to 3, 1, 2, 3, this was in Long Beach, a horn went off.
Horns everywhere. They're following you wherever you go, Sammy. Chopper goes to second. Lopez flips it to his shortstop, but unable to make the play are the Oaks. Of course, an apt time to mention the substitution at short. Zach Nagy is in there instead of Zach Mora, so a different Zach out there at short starting this inning.
Excellent instincts there from Lopez. Quick thinking, realizing that he likely was not going to throw him out at first if he tried to just throw it directly. A little bit of teamwork there. That's something we have seen at the big league level. Not so much at the collegiate level. It's pretty rare. Not impossible, though, to pull off. And it certainly shows that your head's in the right place as far as the want and the yearn for advancement in your baseball career.
Absolutely. It ends up being a single, though, nonetheless. That play blocked at first by Stillwell. He tries to get one out, but can't quite do it. So now Slater Nunez reaches on an error. Landry Stamps after his single gets to second, and Pearson Howe has to deal with 2 runners on and 1 out.
Well, a tough break there from Stillwell, and as soon as he picked it up, he elected not to throw it, which may have been the right call, but there was perhaps a part of me that asked, did he give up on that throw a little too early? But I'm sure it was wise. It would have been very tough and close, but the Oaks with their second error of the day. Each team has 2 apiece.
So now runners on first and second with 1 out in a 5-run game. Reed Montgomery takes a first pitch just low and away. He has a single. He also has a strikeout today. And once again, the Riptide have a lot of runners on base. They've stranded 6 of them on base today. Not a great number. You're in the top of the 6th. Next offering, fastball away for ball 2.
Reed Montgomery was certainly a very reliable bat and glove on the Riptide's roster last summer, displaying a lot of talent, typically a middle-of-the-lineup hitter.
He rips one into left and gets a base hit. Grieve fields it. Bases are loaded, but the runner coming home, Stamps, is able to score, and the Riptide are back within 4. It's 7-3.
Great piece of hitting there from Reed Montgomery, and he comes through in the clutch. He's got his first ribby of the day, and Stamps being sent home from second there. Thought it may have been closer than it was as the throw came in rather quickly, but the Riptide, they're chipping away.
The aggressiveness pays off. Alex Dolan goes hacking and sends it foul left. He's got 2 singles today, has shown speed on the base paths. This is not a guy the Oaks want up in this situation. And once again, the Riptide not exactly in this game yet, but they're knocking on the door, trying to keep it open. 1-0 is low.
Yeah, I think one thing that the Riptide are just falling short of in terms of their rallies are just pushing that momentum through. You mentioned they've left many runners on base.
1-1 count. It's a chopper foul. Bounced off of Dolan. 1-2. So the Riptide have 1 run in the third, 1 in the fourth, and 1 in the sixth. They trail 7-3 in their road opener. 2-0 so far this season with 2 wins over the San Diego Bombers. The pitch to Dolan. Taken inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Dolan certainly showing the ideal attributes of a leadoff hitter, great speed, and also a solid bat in the lineup.
Howe's 2-2. Off speed, chopped into the backstop. And Dolan just got a piece of it, just enough to keep it alive.
Well, the aggressiveness on the basis of Stamps to be able to score there. We'll see if that can contribute to the Riptide's momentum here.
2-2, crushed, right center field. A long run for Contreras. He stands by the hill, slides, and makes the catch. Runner does advance to third. It's Nunez on third and Montgomery on first. Alex Dolan gave that one a ride, but it fell just short of the fence.
Now batting number
Boy,
2.
great heads-up catch there from Contreras, realizing and being aware of the terrace out there in right as well as right center field, but he stayed on balance just enough to be able to make the catch and pull in a big out number 2 for the Oaks.
Yeah, that hill out there is going to be unusual for these fielders this season as Curry takes a ball. We saw on Thursday a double just bounce off the wall where the outfielder couldn't really play it, couldn't run up the hill. He just had to watch it bounce. And so that might be something that comes in play sometimes this season. Contreras able to make a nice catch, though. Howe's next pitch misses inside.
Yeah, terrace certainly unfamiliar territory. There was none of that at George Sparky Anderson Field at Cal Lutheran. It's all flat.
2-0 count. Howe looks in on the righty. The pitch. High. Runner goes to third, or second, I should say. Tag is down, and the runner's out. So Reed Montgomery gets caught stealing, and that is the end of the inning. The Riptide plate 1, but again, they strand runners. We go to the bottom of the 6th. The Oaks lead 7-3. Bottom of the 6th here at Pirate Park, and the Oaks have a 7-3 lead over the Orange County Riptide. Calvin Kaplan alongside Sammy Fawn joining you this afternoon for the season opener. The back-to-back CCL champions, the Conejo Oaks, showing why they have that distinction today.
Yeah, they're certainly defending their title at the start of the season, defending both of their titles.
First pitch to Contreras just misses inside for a ball.
Yeah, the Oaks' first of their 2 consecutive titles in 2024 at the home of the Walnut Creek Crawdads against Walnut Creek, and then last year they win it at home against the Sonoma Stompers.
Swung on the 1-0. Blooped into center. Brandon Contreras has himself a third single, already establishing himself as a core centerpiece of this 2026 edition of the Oaks.
Doing a fine job as the leadoff hitter, too. He led off the game with a single. His next at-bat got a hit, and he leads off the bottom of the 6th here in just that fashion, with the hopes of sparking yet another rally here for the Oaks.
Nate Lopez, the next potential contributor, as Conejo has just led for almost the entirety of this game. First pitch in there for a strike. And we've seen Pearson Howe mix up his pitches. He's got a sinker that breaks back toward the arm side. He's got a slider that breaks toward the glove side, and of course the fastball. Nothing in one. Pitch. Off speed in there for strike 2.
Yeah, that's something that the Riptide need to do more today, is to get ahead in the count early. That's key. I know it sounds like a small thing, but when you look back at the results, it can make a difference.
0-2 crushed into left. A long run for Montgomery, and he does make the play. Contreras skitters back to first. Nate Lopez is retired.
Lopez got a decent piece of that ball, but Montgomery able to range over to his right to haul that one in.
He's had to make some plays out there in left, running around a good bit. Made another one out there. Antwine is 0 for 2 with a walk today, but he had the home run on Thursday that we've been alluding to time and time again. With one out, a runner stands on first, and Antwine is in. First pitch called strike on the inside edge.
Yeah, Antwine certainly showed that pop, obviously, with his home run on Thursday, and he's shown a good deal of it today as well.
0-1 count, the pitch misses low. Looking around the CCL, the Merchants and the Crawdads are tied at 2 in the bottom of the 6th. The Philippines baseball group trailing the Santa Barbara Foresters 5-1. That's a team that has a lot of hitting power that hasn't arrived yet from the College World Series, but once it does, that might be a favorite to contend for the CCL title this season. The 1-1 misses inside. Menlo Park Legends and Slow Blues tied at 0 in the top of the first. Same with the Stompers and the Seagulls. And Arroyo Seco and MLB Academy about to get underway as well. Busy day on the diamond.
Yeah, busy few days of CCL baseball.
2-1, swung on and missed. Antwine waved at it, couldn't get to it. 2-2.
Yeah, some of us on the Oaks crew were talking about the Foresters the other day, just how much power their hitters will have and how much height, too, those guys will have. And that's a team that may strike some fear into the hearts of people that decide to park out by left field.
Yeah, that's really, if you're looking for a team that might hit it over the net, I think the Foresters have the most guys who could do so. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Got players who have seen regular action in the SEC, Texas A&M, the Big 12 at Baylor. So it's going to be a problem for any team. 3 balls and 2 strikes, the pitch. Taken up high for ball 4. Antwine walks, and the Oaks have 2 runners on once again.
Well, putting 2 runners on early on with less than 2 outs has not been helping the Riptide today. And even little by little, the Oaks have had, an inning where they scored 3 runs, but, the two runners with less than 2 outs, it's been the stems of the damage that the Oaks have been able to do to the Riptide today.
Tyson Reese takes a called strike on the outside edge. Nothing in 1. Just not a great spot for Dylan Orr. He does have a chance at a double play on a hard ground ball. Comes set into the stretch. 0-1 with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed way early. Reese takes the swing and can't get to it. 0-2.
That looked like it might have been either a changeup or some kind of wicked off speed from Dylan Orr. He had him tied up there.
Now 0-2. Orr sets up and looks at the plate. Now back at second and delivers. Popped up foul left side. So he's got Tyson Reese in a tough spot. Reese 0 for 3 today after a 3 for 3 day on Thursday with a walk. The Oaks have maintained a comfortable lead for most of this one. Led 4-0 after 2 innings, 6-1 after 3. They lead 7-3 now. Next pitch. Tipped into the backstop. On a slider. Staying alive, Tyson Reese.
Just like the Bee Gees.
That's right. 0-2. Lefty Reese steps back into the box. Eager to try to get his first hit today. Center fielder Dolan shading just to the left of the second base bag. There's a big gap there in right center. The pitch ripped to right. That is a moonshot that's going foul. And that would have been a home run if it had stayed fair. It goes into the street, across the street.
Right by the football stadium. Yeah, I couldn't tell right off the bat just how far that ball was going. But, yeah, that was a home run distance foul ball.
So Reese showing off the power. It's still 0-2. Orr winds and throws. High fly ball to right once again. Woodson's tracking it. He goes under it. Runs and makes the play just short of the fence. Throw comes in. Runner Antwine stays at first. Now 2 outs. Tyson Reese didn't get quite as much power on that one, but still pushed it close to the fence.
And Brandon Contreras was able to advance to third on the fly ball.
So Antwine stays at first. Contreras now 90 feet from the plate. Stillwell is 0 for 2 with a walk, has runners on the corners. And perhaps a chance for the Conejo Oaks to extend their lead once again. In a comfortable spot at the bottom of the 6th. I want to make it even more comfortable.
See if he accepts an invitation to join the hit party.
Orr's first pitch. It's taken low. Close pitch there for ball 1.
Yeah, that was just off the corner, according to the home plate umpire.
1-0 count. Next pitch. Same spot, misses, that time on a fastball. So Contreras has a 3-hit day today, stands on third. Antwine with a couple walks today is over at first. Tyson Reese almost had a home run, but got retired. Now Caden Stillwell's up at the dish. 2-0 count. Next delivery upstairs on a breaking pitch. Bodie Grieve is on deck, of course. Reached on an error an inning ago his last time up. 3-0 count with 2 outs. A walk could bring the bases loaded. Orr's pitch. Called strike, framed on the outside edge on a heater.
Nice framing job by Klauser, the catcher for the Riptide.
Had a few of those today. Helps his pitcher get it back to 3-1 on a close fastball. Orr kicks and throws. Pitches ball 4. Throw to second. Comes back home. Tag is down. Runner's out. The Oaks try to pull on the double steal. Brandon Contreras gets tagged out, and the inning is over. Despite the walk, the Oaks hold a 7-3 lead, going scoreless in the 6th. Pearson Howe's day is done as we enter the top of the 7th. 1 inning pitch, 2 hits, 1 run, no walks, and a strikeout for him. In his place, it's Matt Sanders, the 4th pitcher of the afternoon for the Oaks. Sanders spent his last season at Los Angeles Valley. 16 appearances, 6 starts, 43 innings pitched, and 8.16 ERA.
Fanned 34 batters, walked 22. Pitched a cumulative 43 innings.
And he delivers his first pitch just outside for a ball to Travis Curry, who has a hit today, but he grounded into the crucial double play that ended the 4th inning with the bases loaded. Could have been a chance for the Riptide to climb back, but they're still only down 4. They just stranded some runners of their own after doing the caught stealing on the double steal attempt at home. That's ball 2. And it's been missed opportunities today for the Riptide. 7 runners left on base through 6 innings. Just 3 runs across. Despite having the overall hits advantage, 9-8. Called strike there to Curry.
Sanders redshirted his sophomore season at LA Valley College in 2025.
Now gets into the stretch. Throws the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Bad swing from Curry on a pitch low and in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's a head shaker there for Travis Curry. And that was some filthy stuff from Sanders. Got Curry to sword swing there.
2-2 pitch. Swung and missed outside. So Sanders is getting some movement on these pitches, and he tails another one away from the batter for a strikeout.
Now batting number 48.
Well, sometimes when you get one nasty pitch there and for the batter you get one unfortunate swing, sometimes that's all it takes to work that situation into your favor and build yourself as a pitcher enough confidence to finish it off with the strikeout. A lot of momentum there.
Here's Cooper Klauser. First pitch to him. Called strike on the outside corner. So far, the fastball from Sanders has been working out well. Klauser, the catcher from Arizona State, joining Michigan next year. Winding the pitch at the knees, just a little below it for a ball.
Well, I think by far from Sanders, it's the earliest we've seen some of that nasty off-speed action and some of almost a little bit of sweeper action on his pitches, but some pretty solid stuff.
Here's the 1-1. Inside on the breaking ball. Taken by Klauser. And the urgency has to start to pick up for the Riptide. They're fortunate to be down 4, although they've had opportunities. So, I mean, you could say the Oaks are fortunate to be up by 4 with the amount of runners left on base, but they've made clutch plays when it matters. The 2-1. Poked to the first base side. Stillwell makes an easy play, calls off his pitcher, and stomps on the bag for out number 2.
No problem for Stillwell there. And yeah, some fortunability and unfortunability on both sides. I mean, you know, the Riptide have definitely had far more opportunities, far more men on base than the amount of runs that they have scored.
So now 2 outs in the inning. It's up to Connor Barth. Has a 1-for-3 day, a strikeout in the first, a single in the third, and a ground out in the 5th. Sanders gets the sign that he likes. Comes into the stretch and deals. Tipped into the backstop. Connor Barth makes it 0-1. It's a peaceful afternoon. It's a nearby game of some sort going on next to Pirate Park. Not clear what sport, maybe soccer or something. Hard to tell.
I saw some kids and youth soccer players around.
0-1, called strike on a breaking ball. Nice pitch from Sanders. 0-2. Zach Woodson's on deck. He struck out twice today alongside a flyout. The middle of the order is where the Oaks have had a lot of success today. 0-2. Pitch is high. Matt Sanders has a chance for a nice, neat 1-2-3 inning. If he can keep this up, just 12 pitches so far in the frame. Couple birds flying by, wind blowing out. 1-2 with 2 outs. Sanders goes into the stretch, pauses and deals. Cold strike 3 on the off speed. It hits the outside edge and sends Barth to the bench. A 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts for Matt Sanders. And we'll take it into the bottom of the 7th with the Oaks still up by 4. After 2 innings of work, Dylan Orr exits the game. Allowed a couple hits, allowed a run, but it wasn't earned. And now Chris Canavan comes up to the bump from San Diego State. Had an ERA of 9 this season in 5 appearances. And he's ready to face off against Bodie Grieve, who comes to the plate for the 4th time today.
Yeah, Bodie Grieve has had a decent day at the plate, a walk and a single, and Canavan looks to keep the Oaks where they are. Second lefty that the Riptide have brought in.
He comes to the belt, winds, and the sidearm delivery gets Grieve to flail for strike 1. That's one of the things about having all these new pitchers come in. You have to adjust as a hitter and face different arm angles pretty much every time you're up at bat. Next pitch. Check swing, but it's a called strike, and Bodie Grieve has been bamboozled on back-to-back pitches.
Just like Ross and Chandler.
Sure. 0-2 count. Lefty-righty matchup. Canavan fires. Inside. For a ball. It almost hit Grieve, who turned his shoulder. 1-2.
Yeah, sidearm, that's certainly an adjustment to get used to in summer ball. Not something you see all too often in college, so maybe somewhat often.
1-2 below the knees. So back to even. The Oaks trying to add some insurance. The Riptide will have 2 more chances on offense to try to make up this 4-run deficit. Time's running out, especially if the Oaks can add more here. 2-2 pitch to Grieve. Outside, so from 0-2 to 3-2, Bodie Grieve has worked his way back.
Canavan making his first appearance of the... Actually, he's pitched 1 inning this summer so far. Made 1 appearance against the Bombers.
His 3-2 is looped into left center from Grieve. A high fly ball that Montgomery has to settle under. He's been a busy man today. Reed Montgomery makes another catch for out number 1.
Now batting number 9.
And has had a quality glove in that field, and that's something he was known for last summer, as well as his bat and speed. We did see him get caught stealing for the Riptide earlier, but He's certainly been a reliable player as he was last year.
Speaking of reliable, here's Matthew Whitco, who has 2 doubles today and also reached on an error. First pitch slider goes way outside from the lefty.
And if you think a righty-on-righty matchup with a sidearm pitcher is wild, I mean, the lefty slider is such a weird angle to view as a hitter.
Here's the 1-0, and there's the slider again. Backdoor on the inside edge. You said it. I mean, that's a filthy pitch.
That is nasty as anything. It's like it's a knee buckling slider.
Long pause and the 1-1. Low and away. Again, the same pitch. So, I mean, maybe he'll just throw that every pitch this at bat if it's working so well.
And why wouldn't he?
It's a tough situation for Whitco at the plate, but he's shown prowess today. 2-1 count. The wind and the pitch. Called strike. So Canavan sneaks it back in the zone, the first non-slider of the at-bat. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 away and nobody on. Canavan's next offering. Slider looped into left center. It's caught. Few steps past the infield dirt by Nunez for the second out.
Yeah, it looked like the start of a nice loop shot, but may have hung up in the wind a little bit. Enough for Nunez to make the catch at short.
Now 2 down in the inning. Grant Rodriguez had a sacrifice fly his last time up and is now being pinch hit for, actually, by James Latshaw, who had 2 at-bats in the exhibition against the Coastal Dodgers. Latshaw now enters for Rodriguez. And Rodriguez, of course, also had a double earlier on. Latshaw takes a pitch just outside for a ball.
And Latshaw listed as a pitcher for the Oaks this season, and he's played he's a sophomore incoming at Golden West College.
He can do a lot. He's played both ways. Takes a strike. As a hitter and a pitcher for Golden West.
Two-way player.
I mean, we saw him even in left field on Thursday, and so he'll just go anywhere they ask, apparently. It's a good quality to have in a ball player. 1-1 with 2 outs. Canavan looks for a clean inning. His pitch catches the zone for strike 2.
Yeah, two-way players, something you come by every now and then in college, at the college level.
Not so much in the MLB, with one exception, of course.
Mr. Shohei Ohtani.
1-2 pitch. Whacked in the center. Long run for it from Dolan. He backs up and makes the snatch. So that was a well-hit ball. Latshaw got into it, but ultimately does not get a base hit as a result. A 1-2-3 inning for Chris Canavan keeps the score at 7-3 as the Oaks enter the 8th with the lead.
Oh.
So Matt Sanders' day is done after a scoreless 1-2-3 7th with 2 strikeouts. In his place comes Luke Medhurst, who played left field on Thursday in the exhibition against the Coastal Dodgers. Now he's on the mound as a left-hander. He had a walk, an RBI double, and a flyout at the plate on Thursday. Batted 7th in the lineup. Goes to the University of San Diego and redshirted this past season. Now the southpaw gets ready for Zach Woodson. He misses the zone outside for ball 1.
Medhurst, another ball player with some previous summer ball experience, played last summer for the Anchorage Glacier Pilots of the Alaska League.
Delivers ball 2, working pretty quickly there.
And that was a summer last year where he fanned 5 batters, pitched 5 total innings in 2 games.
He readies, winds, and fires the 2-0, and it hits Woodson, the first hit batter of the season for the Conejo Oaks. Woodson heads to first, and for the Riptide, who have trailed by 4 or 5 runs for much of this game, this might be the start of a spark that they need.
Yeah, and really, if you're the Riptide, you don't care how it gets started. Any way that you can start a rally, and if the Riptide, if they can capitalize on this break, that would certainly be good for them, needless to say. I mean, lucky break is what a hit by pitch is.
Now the second batter of the inning comes up. It's Sean Romero, and he takes it high for a ball. So Romero had a walk, had a single, had a strikeout. He's up for time number 4. Landry Stamps has 2 hits today, and he's on deck. So starting to get to an area with hitters who are more on a hot streak. Medhurst's next pitch popped up high, first base side. Stillwell tries to settle under it. He almost collided with the runner. Now makes the catch for the first out.
Even on the simplest pop-ups and fly balls, the ball does twist around a little bit, especially when there is wind present in the air.
Landry Stamps.
And now Stamps for his 4th at-bat. Will try to get a 3rd hit. Luke Medhurst responding well after the hit batter to get an easy out. The wind has pretty much died down for the moment. Medhurst looks over at first. Now fires to home. Swing and a miss upstairs from Stamps. These Riptide hitters have sometimes gone after the fastball up, even when it's been above the zone, and it hasn't always worked out for them. 0-1. Medhurst stares at first again. Winds and comes to the plate. Inside. 1-1 count. Seven to 3 Oaks lead. No runs since the top of the 6th, where the Riptide got one of them. Now we're in the top of the 8th. 1-1 count with 1 out. Medhurst's next delivery catches the outside corner at the knees for a strike. It Stamps up. Slater Nunez on deck, who's 0 for 2, a couple strikeouts, or 0 for 3, I should say, because he did reach on an error. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out, and Woodson on first. Medhurst comes home to Stamps. Runner goes. Pitch is swung on in the dirt. Throw to second. Runner gets in first, so it is a strikeout. Stamps heads to the bench, but Woodson now stands in scoring position.
Oaks get the strikeout, fall a little short of the strike him out, throw him out double play. We've seen Tyson Reese gun down Reed Montgomery trying to steal. The lone runner caught stealing today. Well, not necessarily, because the Oaks attempted what described a double steal with the runner coming home on the throw to second.
First pitch for Nunez, looped into center for a base hit. Digging for home, Woodson's going to make it, and it's an RBI, 2-out RBI for Nunez. The Riptide now only trail 7-4.
Well, the Riptide definitely needed that, and first time in quite a number of innings that it's been a 3-run game, really. The Oaks have been up by as much as 5 runs in this game.
In the top of the 8th here, the Riptide want to add more. This isn't their last chance to do anything, but they want to make it more manageable heading into the 9th. Montgomery steps into the lefty box. Another single. Nunez was able to drive in the run. Woodson got a good beat on it. Now 2 outs in the inning. Runner on first still. Throw over, and Nunez gets back safely. Reed Montgomery has 2 singles today in his last 2 at-bats. Now Medhurst looks in. First pitch to him. Upstairs for a ball. Medhurst, a Thousand Oaks native. Almost all the Oaks players from California, of course, except Arnold Wu, who's from Taiwan and pitched on Thursday. Called strike 1 on the outside corner. A close pitch. Takes care of Montgomery to even the count.
Yeah, a lot of players from the VC area, Ventura County, and it's one thing about summer ball. It's like, who can you play for somewhat within your range?
A lot of these players know each other heading into this summer, as the throw over almost went over Stillwell's head. That was a nice play, and an underrated play by him to keep it in front. Otherwise, could have been a free base for Woodson. Or Nunez, I should say. Woodson already scored. The 1-1. Popped up foul left side. Reese runs toward it and has to watch it go over the fence. Lands next to the bleachers.
Good way to stay alive for Reed Montgomery. To stick the bat out and just keep fighting it off.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Medhurst trying to get out of the inning against Montgomery and preserve the 3-run lead. He throws over to first again. Really does not want Nunez getting into scoring position. And if Montgomery can get on, the order will turn over and get back to Alex Dolan, who has 2 hits today. Medhurst 1-2, runner goes. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Doesn't matter in the end. Luke Medhurst gets 2 strikeouts. He does allow a run, but the Oaks still lead by 3 in a comfortable spot heading into the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th, and Chris Canavan's day is done despite a quick 1-2-3 7th. In his place, though, is Jack Wade, the incoming senior, who goes to Washington, or did at least in 2026.
Jack Wade making his second appearance, I beg your pardon, of the summer. And the last chance, unless the Riptide rally in the 9th, to really hold off the Oaks.
It's Zach Nagy at the plate. He takes strike 1, came in at shortstop earlier for Zach Mora. And so now Nagy gets his first at-bat.
Zach Nagy's older brother, Evan Nagy, among the Conejo Oaks staff.
Family connections as he fouls one off right side. Snag made it first by Stamps. That's an easy first out. And Jack Wade is someone with Big Ten experience who can really excel for this team in high-level situations.
Now batting, number 1, Brandon Contreras.
So Brandon Contreras comes up, 3 hits. alongside a strikeout. It's been a good day for him to start off his CCL campaign. Looking to do some damage. He takes a strike on the outside edge.
Yeah, Contreras today has really shown why he's been earning his spot in the leadoff spot.
Absolutely. It's a guy you want to just get on base, get base knocks. Wade's quick delivery completely fools him, though, for strike 2 on the off-speed pitch.
And when you think about being a leadoff guys known to get on base most of the time, not necessarily known to get a ton of RBIs because they are leadoff guys, but they will when the time comes.
Swinging a big hit to right. Woodson settles and makes the catch for out number 2. So Contreras got a hold of it but gets retired, and Jack Wade is showing why he's in the game. 2 quick outs for him. So here's Nate Lopez. He's 1 for 4 with a single today. Back up for appearance number 5. Jack Wade gets ready to face him. The southpaw comes to the belt against the righty. Here's the pitch. Called strike on the inside edge. Jack Wade is varying his pitches, has different movements. Distinctively different, of course. The 0-1. Fastball swung on and missed for strike 2. It got tipped barely by Lopez, still into the mid of the catcher. No balls, 2 strikes. Jack Wade wants to make quick work of this Oaks offense. He comes set. Here's the pitch. Just low and away on the fastball, 1-2.
Yeah, Wade, as you mentioned, showing a variety of velo. He saw a bit of more of, looked like it might have been a 2-seamer there.
Here's the 1-2. Roped into center. Leaping attempt unsuccessful from Nunez. He almost had it, but Nate Lopez gets a 2-out hit and tries to start something on offense.
I don't care how many runs the Riptide are down by. That is an excellent effort by Nunez at short. He came up just a little bit short. And a good hit there from Lopez.
It's Tyler Antwine's turn with 2 outs. He has 2 walks today. Now he has a runner on first to work with. Wade's first pitch is low for a ball. This is the heart of the order. It's Antwine, then Reese, then Stillwell. All guys with power, all guys with ability to put the ball in play. Wade, checks first and throws. Pitch is fouled off to the right. So 7-4 Oaks lead. The Riptide will want to hold things where they are and get at least 3 in the top of the 9th to make this one interesting. Pitch is low. The Oaks' offense is slowed down just a bit. 1 run in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the third, and then 1 in the 5th. Nothing since.
If the Riptide can hold the Oaks off, it may be just enough of an oomph for them to reset and get a fresh start in the 9th.
Here's the 2-1. Foul tip into the mitt of Klauser for strike 2. That's what they'll look to do. They're 2-0, the Riptide, this season. Their first road game of the season is today. The Oaks are in Game 1 of the CCL season, taking on the MLB Academy Barons tomorrow at 1 o'clock Pacific. 2-2 the pitch. Looped into the screen. Still 2-2. Antwine against Wade to try to keep the inning alive. Wade winds and throws. Breaking ball fouled right over the screen, headed toward the storage area. It bounces off the barn. I think it did, at least. It's hard to tell.
It looked like it did, right off the front.
Still 2-2 with 2 outs and the runner on first. Next pitch. Inside corner, called strike 3. Tyler Antwine was frozen, and Jack Wade delivers a scoreless 8th. But the Riptide have work to do. They need 3 runs in the top of the 9th to keep this game alive. Up next. It's the top of the ninth here at Pirate Park, and the Conejo Oaks have a 7-4 lead in their season opener. And looking to preserve it on the mound is Caden Ceramic, redshirted at Oklahoma State in his freshman season. Now looking to retire the side and send the Riptide down, give them their first loss of the season.
Yeah, Ceramic making his first appearance of the summer, recently added to the roster. And yeah, the Oaks 3 outs away from winning their first league game of the season and starting the season statistically 1-0. But the Riptide, they're not down by a ton. They're down by 3. They've certainly had more opportunities than they've capitalized on, but they do have a chance to put all that behind them and make a rally here against the Oaks.
And if there is a spot they want to be in, it's at the top of the order. Alex Dolan indeed is up for the 5th time today. He has 2 singles.
Now batting number 26, Alex Dolan.
And he'll look to get it going. Riptide scored a run last inning to cut the deficit to 3. Ceramic looks in on Dolan. First pitch to him. On the outside edge for a strike. So Dolan's singles came in the 3rd and the 4th. He flied out in the 1st, flied out in the 6th. It's back up in the 9th. Ceramic takes a breath, kicks his leg and throws high for a ball. Couple fastballs to start off the count. Travis Curry's on deck as Ceramic comes set. Horn goes off during his windup, and he skips it in the dirt inside. A little bit of visible frustration there from Ceramic as the count's 2-1. That's twice that's happened today, Sammy.
And it doesn't seem so much like a coincidence now in terms of the result.
Maybe some conspiracies at play. Who knows? You never know who's operating the horn. 2-1 count. Ceramic gets ready. Long look. Tries to regain himself. And throws into the zone, but that one's ripped into left. Dolan has himself an easy base hit, his 3rd of the day.
That's exactly the kind of start the Riptide needed in the top of the 9th inning, and who better, frankly, than from their leadoff hitter, Alex Dolan. That is the job of a leadoff hitter. I've been describing it time and time again today, and you don't know what's going to happen next, but again, that's exactly how the Riptide needed to start this inning. That's the jump that they needed. Let's see if they can capitalize on it.
Travis Curry had a hit way back in the 1st. His 2 strikeouts and a double play, though, as well. Now has a runner on first and nobody out. First pitch in there for a strike. Reese yanked it back in. Might have been on the outside corner anyway, but it's still 0-1 regardless. Ceramic wants to close this one out with the Oaks leading by 3.
He's being tested here.
The number 2 hitter, Curry, looks on. Here's the pitch, way outside. Reese pumps over at first as it looked like Dolan was interested in trying to maybe steal.
Reese with a little, I've got my eye on you glance. A pump, I should say, at Dolan at first.
Here's the 0-2 to Curry. Pitch. Just misses. I think some in the stands thought that was strike 3. No, sir, says the umpire. It's 1-2. So Curry comes back in the box. Cooper Klauser, the catcher, is on deck. 1-2 count. Ceramic against Curry. The runner on first. Here's the pitch. Popped foul to the right side. Curry stays alive. Just shy of the 3-hour mark here for a game that started around 4 o'clock. It's 6:54.
And for a high-scoring game, as it's been.
For sure. It's gone relatively speedily. Runner goes. Pitch is chopped toward the third base side, foul. That would have been a really good opportunity for Dolan to steal or at least try a hit and run.
Yeah, if that stays fair, then you at least have Dolan at second. But the Oaks catch a break there.
Now a 1-2 count with nobody out. Ceramic is having his pitch count driven up just a little bit. 2-2 count, actually, pardon me. As he looks on Curry. Next pitch. Check swing. It's outside. The umpire at first says no swing. Now the count's full. And suddenly, Sammy, one ball and Curry reaches base and the game tying runs at the plate with nobody out.
And I'd say at that point, and you could say it now, that the Riptide may be knocking at the door.
Curry has to get through this at-bat successfully first. Here comes the payoff pitch. Inside for a ball. So a single and a walk. And the energy's coming back a little bit for the Riptide. Runners on first and second with nobody out. And a 3-run deficit. Cooper Klauser, the game-tying run, stands at the dish.
Riptide knocking on the door, and that is a clutch take from Travis Curry that just missed the inside corner. And Klauser, some good power standing at the plate here for the Riptide.
Ceramic winds and throws. Called strike at the belt. 0-1 against Klauser, who reached on an error his first time up. He has a walk as well and a pop out and a ground out. He's batted in all the odd-numbered innings today, none of the even-numbered ones. Next pitch. Outside on a fastball.
Well, Klauser has yet to go deep this season. He does have 2 RBIs, though. He's been a clutch player for the Riptide.
Well, the right fielder Contreras is pretty deep in the outfield. He's creeping up a little bit. 1-1 count to the catcher. Runner's dancing around over at second. Ceramic throws. Pitch is just outside. Didn't quite work its way back. And this is something we've seen from the Riptide pitchers a lot, having close pitches not go their way. Now it's happening for Ceramic.
Yeah, and that's a tough comeback to throw a strike there when you've got runners dancing around the way they are.
A pivotal 2-1 on the way. Ceramic deals. Swinging a foul tip into the umpire's mask. And it's not the first time that's happened today. And looks to be in some pain, hoping he's okay.
Yeah, Oaks head coach David Solis checking on him. And the trainer Yoshi coming out to check on him as well.
Yeah, those umpire masks protect to some extent, but not entirely. And
they can only protect so much.
So a pause in the action here. The count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And now the umpire's risen back to his feet. Seems like a pretty happy discussion going on over there between the umpires and coaches, so nothing too serious, but I mean, that's gotta hurt. It's a hard foul ball coming right off the mask, and maybe it hit him in the chin too. Don't want to speculate, but you never know.
Well, it also just goes to show you why being an umpire is such a thankless job. It's not just calling the baseball game. It's also being on the lookout for those balls that can hit you, especially if you're the home plate umpire. And then, of course, you know, if you're a field umpire, watching out for a line drive or a hard-hit ground ball. But it's definitely, a lot of umpires make it look easy, but it is not as easy as it looks.
Still a long discussion going on here as Ceramic now has a break in the action, trying to reset with the count now at 2-2 after the foul ball. So perhaps a chance to retire a batter. He definitely does not want to load the bases in a 3-run game with nobody out. But the Oaks have stranded some runners on base. 8 Riptide runners left on base throughout the game. That's been a storyline today. But another storyline was just the early offense from Conejo. That's fizzled out a little bit, but it's been enough to give him a sizable lead. So right now, one of the umpires has exited the field and is jogging toward the exit, as the other umpire who was struck is on one knee. Just not a scene that you like to see at all.
Yeah, the only thing that goes through your mind is just that the only thing you care about is that he's okay.
So now some of the players just walking toward the dugout. As we might have a bit of a lengthier pause in the action than anticipated. While this is going on, we'll take a brief break and come back in just a moment, top of the ninth. Well, after a long pause in the action, we're back for the top of the ninth. The injured umpire was able to walk off under his own power, but will be gone for the rest of the day. Two-man umpire crew for the rest of the game, it appears. A new home plate umpire is coming to the plate. And as a reminder of where we're at, the Dolan single and the Curry walk has 2 runners on and nobody out in a 3-run game. It's a 2-2 count to Cooper Klauser, who fouled the ball off the umpire just moments ago.
And again, we just hope he is okay. Thoughts and prayers.
Absolutely. Hoping for the best. Ceramic delivers. That pitch just fouled off. Another foul tip. This time going to the right side.
Klauser, a staying alive swing right there. The Riptide, they have a distinct chance. They are not out of this game.
3-run deficit. Trying to climb back into it. They had 1 run in the 8th. Ceramic's next 2-2 pitch to Klauser is on the way. Swung on and missed in the dirt. An epic off-speed from Ceramic gets the first out of the inning.
Boy, what a big and much-needed strikeout for Ceramic. And one thing we talked about off the air was which side do we think that delay would mess with more. Well, it's not necessarily clear yet, but that was certainly a pivotal strikeout and a great way to come back from that break for Ceramic.
Absolutely. Now he faces Connor Barth, who struck out twice today, but also has a single. A double play would end it, but Barth is also the game-tying run. Ceramic comes set. Righty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. Up high for a ball. Ceramic's control has been a little bit all over the place today, but he's flashed some great pitches as well.
As it is right now, this game could go any which way.
1 ball, no strikes. 1 out and a runner on first and second. Ceramic takes a breath. Runner dancing around. He tries to throw over to second, but nobody's covering. And, I mean, we've seen that runner, Dolan, just try to get in Ceramic's head. Now comes set. The 1-0 to Barth. Taken upstairs for a ball. And pardon me, it's actually a pinch hitter, Bradley Bedreau, who redshirted at Fordham, who's been in there at the dish. Barth's day likely being done, and Bedreau enters in his place. Pitch to him, called strike, but the runner takes third. Dolan's over on third, 2-1 count, runners on the corners.
If I'm not mistaken, that's Dolan's 3rd stolen base of the day.
It is.
And if you're the Oaks, you do not want to surrender a walk here.
2-1 to Bedreau. On the way. Called strike on the inside edge. A well-located pitch from Ceramic to even it. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runners on the corners, and a 7-4 Oaks lead. Caden Ceramic wants to end this one soon. Here's the pitch. Low and in the dirt. Reese looks at first, and the count is full. This is a huge pitch coming up for Caden Ceramic.
This is the pitch that may dictate how this game goes.
A walk would not be ideal. Strikeout or a double play certainly would be. 3-2. Inside for ball 4. So Ceramic has walked 2 batters and allowed a hit this inning. But Bedreau takes first and the bases are loaded, meaning the go-ahead run is standing at the plate in Zach Woodson.
And Woodson is currently hitless, but this is his biggest chance to come through right here. The tying runs are all on base. The bases full of Riptide.
The Riptide have stranded 8 runners on base, though, today. They'll try to change that here. First pitch to Woodson. Breaking ball at the knees for a strike. Caden Ceramic is working through a tough situation, made tougher by the pause in the action. But he's ahead 0-1.
Threw a nice off-speeder there to Woodson.
Now he comes to the belt. The kick in the 0-1. High and away. Reese handles it. Woodson struck out twice today, flied out, got hit by a pitch his last time up. Hit 128 at Pepperdine this season. Ceramic comes to the belt again. The wind and the 1-1. Called strike on the inside edge at the belt. Woodson shaking his head knowing he could have swung at that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well-located pitches from Ceramic are just cutting across the edges of the strike zone. He shakes off the sign. Now comes set. 1 ball and 2 strikes against Woodson. The kick and the pitch. Chopped into the plate. Woodson just barely stays alive by the skin of his teeth.
Oaks do have forces everywhere.
It's a helpful thing to have in a situation like this, but with the game-tying run being on first, not an easy situation by any means. Just 1 out. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ceramic loads and deals. Swing and a chopper. Right back to him. He throws home, gets the force. Reese throws to first. Game over! Zach Woodson hits into a double play, and the Oaks survive. Caden Ceramic delivers a scoreless 9th, and the Conejo Oaks win 7-4 in their season opener.
That is exactly what the doctor ordered right there and what the Oaks needed. Woodson grounds that ball right back to Ceramic. And he's able to throw home for the force. And Tyson Reese able to fire that one to first to finish the job. And we take you back up to the booth.
Just an absolutely electric game from the Oaks. Of course, we saw the offense from them early, Sammy, putting up those 7 runs, and then in the clutch when it mattered, Caden Ceramic fighting through a rocky 9th inning to hold the Riptide scoreless, and really just a smart play, too, knowing to go straight to home and allowing for the double play.
Yeah, and what I really liked about that play from Ceramic, too, is he took his time to throw home. He did not rush the throw. He recognizes that he has the force at home, first of all, and the guarantee of that is stopping the run from scoring. And then it was just up to Reese to finish the job, and he had plenty of time to throw down to first, and he did just that. And the Oaks win their first league season game and start off the season statistically 1-0, snapping the Riptide's two-game winning streak.
The Riptide fall to 2-1 on Saturday, and that'll do it for us up here at Pirate Park in Ventura, California. Make sure to tune in tomorrow as the Oaks take on the MLB Academy Barons. First pitched 1 p.m. Pacific. Sammy Fawn will be on play-by-play. This has been Calvin Kaplan alongside Sammy. Thank you all for tuning in to the Oaks season opening 7-4 win over Orange County.